Oh, I got to remember that.
Well, they say in order to remember something, you have to forget something else. Okay, now that is a very cute haircut.
That's like a little shag. I've never seen it before.
Well, of course you have.
So, Rachel.
Oh, is that your name?
No, I mean, like your name.
No, I'm Jen.
My name's Jen.
Right, but I feel like this is your haircut, but that's hair on your head. I'm not saying this is your hair. Okay.
Driven by our D&M Leasing Studios. Thanks for turning it on, leaving it on. 105.3 The Fan.
Welcome in, DFW. Glad to have each and every one of you on board on this overcast, chilly, but not too bad if you're dressed appropriately type of weather on a December 7th, a day that'll live in infamy. Now, I can say that to you, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
War.
You'll know exactly
guess what?
what I'm talking about.
We're in the fog of war.
That's
Dense
exactly
fog.
right.
I feel bad for anybody trying to catch a plane. And by the way, hello, it's London out there. Hello.
It's like I'm working with Blake. I'll tell you what, he loves doing a good British accent. Now, I'll tell you what, you've got yours. Your accent is trained, tried, and true. That gentleman to my right, for those of you just tuning in, is none other than the three-time Hall of Famer himself, Mr. Chris Arnold.
Got you down.
We've got our boy in the glass. Tell you what, he looks snug, looks comfy, looks cozy back
You got
there.
a lumberjack.
My lumberback. That's big back and lumberjack put together.
Oh,
You got
which
that
would be
shirt.
wrong? Which
You
would
got
be
that
wrong?
flannel shirt on and the
He
hoodie.
does. He's got the hoodie going on. I'll tell you what.
It's not even cold out there.
I feel like I'm in 1990s Seattle over here with Trevor. All right, maybe we're going to go head over to a Nirvana and Pearl Jam concert after we're done here. But Trevor the Creator, a.k.a. Trevor Beck, a.k.a. Trevor, just Trevor, in the glass on the 1, 2s, and 3s. Trevor, how we feeling today, my man? And I'll tell you what, we have to give credit where credit's due, Chris Arnold, because 2 days ago, on our Friday night show, I haven't done a Friday night show in a minute because I've been, traveling back and forth. We did the Friday show, but we didn't do a Friday night show. You and was it Medford did the Friday morning show after Thanksgiving. Blake
Friday.
and I did it, Black Friday. After you guys wrapped up after the Cowboys game on Thanksgiving, and of course that's back when everybody was thinking that hey, maybe this Cowboy team's going to make the playoffs after all, and then Detroit happened. But we'll get to that here in just a second. But college football is kind of the soup du jour right now after what went down last night. Mm-hmm. The day started off, kind of just not super exciting. I mean, unless you're a Texas Tech fan, shout out to our boy Brendan Baxter, and of course the one, the only degenerate Jacob Ray, who was feeling some type of way yesterday. Him and his little boo thing out there taking pictures out there at AT&T Stadium.
Yeah,
I mean, it was
half that crowd showed up at the Mavericks game last night.
Did they?
Oh yeah.
I mean, might as well. Hey, I tell you what,
they were partying, man.
You're feeling good.
Yeah.
Hey, you won a Big 12 championship. You spent all that money. Hey,
probably get a bye.
Let's keep the good vibes going, okay? You got Rockets, you got Mavericks, and don't look now. But all of a sudden, your Dallas Mavericks have won 4 out of 5. It's amazing what happens when you throw AD in the mix. I'll tell you what, he looks in shape.
He looks in shape, and he also, he has 29 points. They beat the Rockets. They beat down the Rockets. Let me do this real quick.
Go for it.
The Mavericks beat down the Rockets. Nobody saw that coming.
No.
They got destroyed by Oklahoma City. So they're playing.
There's no shame in that because
No.
they're beating the bleep out of everybody right now.
Here's what's so wild. Oklahoma City is 22-1.
Yes.
They are favored by Las Vegas to win out the rest of their games, which is not going to happen.
Crazy. It's
but
not.
they're favored for every single game because that's how good they are, offensively, defensively, everything. They're the number 1 defense in the NBA, Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
Houston's the number 2.
Yeah.
And Oklahoma City's got about a wide margin. At the same time, the Dallas Mavericks are like number 4, number 3, depends on the week. Well, here's the deal. The Mavericks played a back-to-back. The Rockets played a back-to-back. The Rockets blew out the Phoenix Suns. The Rockets got into Dallas before the Mavericks got into Oklahoma City because Oklahoma City and the Mavericks played a later night game.
Yeah.
See, so it's like, okay, the Mavericks had no sleep. Anthony Davis only scored 2 points in that game, worst game of his career.
Did not look good the other night.
It was like, okay, so what's going to happen? If you hope they might win, they blew the Rockets out. Nobody saw that. Talk about a party.
Yeah.
Last night at the American Airlines Center, shout out to them.
Shout out to the Dallas Mavericks, and again, my boy Cooper Flagg doing his thing last night.
Nemhard.
I mean, it has been
You know what somebody said? It's been a month of surprise with him. He's really good. He's been setting records the way Cooper Flagg is. Cooper Flagg, by the way, is the reigning Western Conference Rookie of the Month. They gave him the award before the game. Nemhard. How come somebody put on social media, don't let Nemhard and Flagg turn into Luka and Brunson.
And Brunson, yeah.
Two rookies in the same.
Well,
we're talking about steals here.
It's funny you bring that up. So Blake and I were on last week, and it might have been earlier this week. I can't remember what day it was. I mean, how all these days start to blend in together. But we were on, and it was the night that he had his 28-point explosion.
And no turnovers.
Right, no turnovers. Had a hell of a,
He had like 13 assists, 28 points. Nobody had done that as a rookie since, I think it was, who's from Coney Island, played for the Knicks, went over Stephon Marbury.
So
last one to do that.
And the first ever undrafted
to ever do it.
Do it back-to-back nights, right, where he had scored 15-plus points and no turnovers. So, I mean, Ryan Nemhard has been a revelation for these Dallas Mavericks, and we were talking, and so we're talking about it the other night, a week ago, whatever it was, the night he went off for 28, and that morning, or the early part of that show, we're, this one particular texter, 979, who knows, whatever his number was, he knows who he is, and he said, hey, this guy's giving me Brunson vibes.
Yeah.
And so me and Blake kind of poo-pooed it. We're like, come on, man. Like, look, Nemhard's, we like where this kid's going. Now, again, he hadn't had his little explosion yet.
Right.
So he'd been okay. He'd been good, not great. And so we're saying, look, let's calm down. We're talking about Jalen Brunson, maybe one of the best guards in the NBA right now. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Sure.
And then Nemhard, has probably one of the best weeks that an undrafted rookie's ever had.
Okay, so let me give you the comp. And again, we're not talking about career-wise. We're just saying what it seemed like starting out. Brunson got overlooked in the draft. He was a late first-round pick, should have been a higher pick. Well, guess what? People are like, why is he still in college if he's so good? He won 2 national championships. He was all conference. There must be something wrong with this kid.
Yeah.
Guess what? He's not that tall. Kind of like Nemhard. Barely is 5'9". Nemhard's maybe like J.J. Barea size. Brunson's a little bit taller. Brunson and Kyler Murray could look each other in the eye. That's how tall Brunson is.
Now, Brunson's a little bit thicker, though.
A little bit thicker than Nemhard.
Yeah.
But here's the other part about why it's a comp in a way. Okay, so the Mavericks get Luka and Brunson the same draft. They get Flagg, they get Nemhard the same draft day. Because they circled it. They said, "We want you. We're gonna sign you. Trust me." And so he had the best. The Mavericks had the best deal. They already been talking to him. The other comp, like I saw, is so crazy, is Jason Kidd. Rick Carlisle never started Brunson. He kept him on the second team. Mm-hmm. Brunson never started with. It was like, okay, when Luka gets tired, Brunson, you can run the offense. Jason Kidd said, "No, I want you out there with Luka."
Yeah.
So here's Jason Kidd making Brunson, like he was doing with Cooper Flagg, like he did with Giannis. He said, I'm going to give you these first-team reps.
Yeah.
When he saw what Nemhard was doing, by the way, Nemhard had an injury in early November, which is why you didn't see him for a while. Plus, he's on a contract, a two-way contract, where they can only use
number of games.
50 games. That's all they can use it. They're going to extend it now.
Yeah.
But it's like, Kidd took a chance because he's a Hall of Fame guard.
He really
knows
is.
a guard. He knows Brunson. He knows Nemhard. He goes, you guys got it. I don't care where you were drafted or not drafted or how tall you are. I know what you can do. You can see the floor. You got the high basketball IQ. And so Nemhard starts, and like I said, that's the comp to me so far. We'll see how it plays off because, again, both of them are little bitty guys. Nemhard is smaller than Brunson, though.
Well, and hey, if there's anybody that you can emulate and model your game after, again.
One other thing. They're deceptive.
Yeah.
Because they're tricky. In other words, just when you think, okay.
Well, you have to be when you're that size in the NBA.
Nemhard can get to the basket, and he's got this jump shot, this 3-point, 2-point. It just switched
and
every
eventually-
time. But you don't never know when he's going to pull the trigger.
Well, not to mention, and you'd think at some point they're going to guard him.
You would think.
Because
you got to get
the
tape. The tape.
Teams don't respect him right now, which I get. He's a two-way player. He was undrafted out of Gonzaga, and people are saying to themselves, all right, we understand it. And at some point, put hand down, man down.
By the way,
all right? Like, put a hand in the kid's face.
979 says, hi, I'm that guy. I'm the texter. Thanks for the shout-out.
Hey.
Saying he met me at the Fan Phenom.
There
2
we
shouts
go.
out to the 3-time. Appreciate you. He said his name is Nick, by the way.
Called him Nimrod, LMAO. Shout out to Nick.
Nimhard.
No, well, hey, no, 682 is being a smartass.
Oh, okay.
All right, shout out to you, 979. See, I tell you what,
Nick.
I hadn't forgotten about you.
Tolo.
I hadn't forgotten about you. That is a Tolo, too, because
For real?
you're first of all, you're listening on a Sunday morning. We do our show, Fan After Dark's on at night, all right? So God bless
Turn
you
it on, leave it on.
for blaring with us and kicking it with us. Shout out, I'm writing Nick's name down right now. Nick, shout out to you for the early comp of Jalen Brown, and you know, we gave Nick a hard time. We Blake and I poo-pooed all over him, and then next day we were like, you know what, we owe you an apology, my man. You were spot on with the Jalen Brunson.
I apologize. I wasn't familiar with your game.
We were not familiar with Nick's game. We absolutely weren't. So shout out to him. I got to give a quick shout out to my cousin. I was able to watch parts of the game last night, but my Aunt Jenny, my Aunt Malia, they came in town last night to celebrate my cousins. My family's all over the place, right? So I'm 44. I've got a 20-year-old cousin.
Me too.
Right? Because my uncle is a few years older than me.
Same here, my auntie.
My grandparents had a huge family, yada, yada, whatever. And so there was an 18-year gap between their oldest and their youngest. And so, anywho,
They're in town.
My cousin Olivia, shout out to her last night. She turned 20 years old. We went to Quince Riverside over in Fort Worth. Nice little spot. Shout out to my boy Johnny Cox, who was the waiter over there. I said, hey, man, did a great job. And you're talking about a dozen 20-year-old girls. I mean, that's enough to give you a headache in and of itself right there. But
it was Instagram City, huh?
Bro,
That's what they do.
I'll tell you what, y'all
All
need to,
cameras facing themselves.
Y'all need to put a T-shirt on. Okay, I'm gonna leave it at that. Y'all need to put a T-shirt or a sweatshirt or something on. Anyway, I digress. But shout out to my cousin Olivia, turning the big 20, the big 2-0 yesterday. So shout out to her. And again, your son's at TCU.
Yep.
Shout out to Funky Town.
Yeah, I was over there yesterday afternoon. The TCU track team. My son runs track for TCU.
Yeah.
They had like an inter squad track meet.
Okay,
So-
basically a track scrimmage.
Yeah, track scrimmage.
How'd he do?
Oh, he did great. They had a
Okay.
4x400. He was the last leg. The teams that lost had to do push-ups. His team won because he was the last leg, and he killed it. And
Yeah.
also, he ran the 500 meter and did that in a minute, 1 second, which is a really, really good time.
That's a
Yeah,
really good
came
time.
in third on that. So
wait a minute. Okay, the 500, is that a new race?
no, this they do that here and there.
Okay.
Put it like this: it's every now and then there's a track meet that does that. Every now and then. And so they did that. And so
Okay.
he did well in that too.
Now, so real quick, for all of our track heads out there, we know there's a few of y'all out there. Now, is he still doing the 800 or is he
Yes.
just, okay.
800,
Okay.
and every now and then he'll do the 4x400.
I'll tell you what, if they got your boy running the anchor leg, that tells me all I need to know about your boy.
Kick that gear in. So, shout out to Alex.
Okay, so who's the fastest guy? Who's the fastest person in the family? You or your wife?
I don't know. I ran a marathon myself. I'm not the speed burst guy.
Right,
and my
right.
wife, she's athletic. She ran a little track, but she played volleyball in high school.
Okay, fair enough. Either way, look, the genes are thick over there.
Jeans are thick. My cousin, he was a track guy at Azusa Pacific. He was
Christian Okoye.
He was his roommate. He and
Okay, so
Christian
is
are
it
really
true
good
that he had goats hanging in his
Yes.
room and all that good
Yes,
stuff?
yes.
Okay.
Christian Koye, the Nigerian night train, Nigerian
Nightmare.
Nightmare, the running back for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Super nice guy.
Super nice. Met him at the Super Bowl a few years, or 10 years ago, whatever.
Yeah.
Had him on the show, G-Bag, and we were talking about him and my cousin Brian because Brian used to tell me all about him.
Yeah, no. I did an interview with Christian Okoye a couple of years ago. Christian Okoye had a great story and of course, for bring it back to the Cowboys.
He was the Hakeem Olajuwon of football.
Of football, right? He was the first, for you younger heads out there now, guys my age and older. That
he was Derrick Henry before Derrick Henry.
He absolutely was. He really, really was. But I asked him a great question. I said, why was it that, and again, bringing it full circle for you guys, he played for Brian's dad, Marty, with the Kansas City Chiefs. And so I asked him, I go, why was it you guys were always so dominant in the regular season and then would always get run off the field come playoff time? And he said, he paused for a second. He goes, look, I love Marty to death. He goes, but we were tired. He said, because the problem, he said, because, and you remember, this is the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
He said, Marty Schottenheimer had us practicing 2, sometimes 3 times a week in pads all season long.
Oh, wow.
Okay? He goes, think about that. In today's NFL, you can't even practice in pads after week 10, 11.
No.
You're walking through everything.
Right.
He goes, Marty Schottenheimer had
them.
us cracking heads until the last week of the season. He said, so by the time playoffs rolled around, you were exhausted. He said, why do you think those 49er teams were so good? He said, because Bill Walsh was ahead of the curve and started doing walkthroughs and what, shells and just shoulder pads and shorts.
So they were fresh.
So they were fresh come playoff time. So, just you get little peeks, and that's one thing I love about talking to these old school dudes is that you get kind of a peek behind the curtain. And, us as old school sports fans, we want to know, what happened. Because they ain't going to say that in you're not going to hear that in a press conference afterwards.
Not in a presser.
We're tired from coach whooping our ass in practice.
That's why those old head podcasts are so popular, like All the Smoke. I mean, people love to hear these guys really
they really
talking
do
about what really went happen.
I will say, though,
you'll never hear that at a press conference.
I do. While I don't mind the old head podcast, I do sometimes think that they shy away from asking tough questions for obvious reasons. Whereas guys like you and I, we want to know certain things.
Yeah.
Well, and you don't have to be intrusive about it. But either way, so yeah, shout out to our boy Christian Okoye, all around great dude as well. So shout out to him. All right, we've had what a last few days of sports it's been here.
Ooh, we got to sort it out.
Off to a rousing start here in the month of December. You had the Cowboys, and you and I haven't even talked. I haven't even gotten your thoughts yet on the Cowboy game from last week. We'll talk about that here in just a little bit. Kind of, what does it look? You've been covering this Cowboy team for a long, long time. I'll say this, and then I want to hear from you in the next segment because we're going to talk some college. We're going to talk some high school football as well. The semifinals are set. DFW representing as what they do. You guys know how we do over here in the DF Dub, but we'll talk about that here in just a couple segments. But I said that Thursday night, and I'll defer to you on this, CA, but I said Thursday night to me is a microcosm of the last 30 years of the Dallas Cowboys. Okay? Blake and I started to get into it, and then next thing you know, and then we dovetailed into a cheaters conversation, and of course, 6 degrees of Chris Arnold. Of course, Chris Arnold knows the guy that created cheaters.
Shout out to my boy Tommy.
So we'll talk about that later on the program as well. But when we come back, we're going to get into some college football, all right? Chaos has set in. Trevor said this a couple days ago. He said, if Duke beats Virginia, all hell will break loose. And that's exactly what happened last night. So who's in, who's out? We're going to find out here in just a few hours. But more importantly, I asked Chris Arnold, was Thursday night a microcosm of the last 30 years for your Dallas Cowboys? 877-881-1053, 877-881-1053. That is the Franklin Injury Attorney text line. Text in. Let us know how you're doing on this Sunday morning. Lots to get to. This is 105.3 The Fan.
Our goal is to have you winning every sports debate with your buds. We'll do the homework. You just listen and enjoy. Turn it on and leave it on. The Fan and our Odyssey, iHeartRadio, or TuneIn apps.
Never have I ever called my sister from the finish line of my first marathon.
Hello?
You won't believe where I am.
Are you running?
Mile 26. I'm gonna make it.
Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e with its advanced camera system on us. Plus 2 lines for just $30 a line.
Guys, I can't believe it.
I knew you could do it, babe.
That was amazing.
Mom, how do you feel?
I feel great. I can't feel my feet. Let's take a picture, and then you may carry me to the car.
Share every stride, every mile, every memory on America's best network. Switch to T-Mobile's 55 Plus plan and get iPhone 16e on us and 2 lines for just $30 a line.
With 24-month bill credits and 2 eligible port-ins on Essentials 55 Plus for well-qualified customers with autopay plus taxes, fees, and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us. Finance agreement 128 gigabytes, $599.99 required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
What are the most common calls you guys get for someone who's like, oh, I wonder if I should call the Frankels for this?
The bottom line is if you're in a car wreck and it's not your fault, you may not need us, but the call and the consultation are free. So what can it hurt? I was in a car wreck. I went to the emergency room. I don't have health insurance. Now I've got a $20,000 bill. What do I do? I missed a week of work. I got hit by an uninsured driver. How do I deal with that? Make us your first call.
214 or 817-333-3333. Franklin Frankel, Principal Office, Dallas, Texas.
Feeling stuck on your own 10-yard line in the career game? Maybe it's time to just go for IT. My Computer Career has the game plan to score a rewarding new IT career in months. Whether you're a rookie, a breakout career changer, or a military veteran ready to serve. Why spend years chasing a college degree when you can fast track your future in IT starting now? Take your mark, get set, go for IT. Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu today. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Dan owed an unbelievable amount of money to the IRS.
I got behind on my taxes. It's a horrible feeling.
He was in denial.
And when I got those letters from the IRS, you wanted to act like they didn't exist.
Finally, Dan turned to Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima got me a settlement with the IRS. These people are really people-friendly. It was every bit of a new lease on life for me.
The fast action and the great results made Dan's head spin.
I felt like I was in a dream, but it's real, and I have paperwork to prove it. They got the job done, and life is good.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation.
If you're worried about what's going to happen with the IRS, stop worrying. Make the call now.
Call 800-809-5833. 800-809-5833. 800-809-5833.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
100.3 Jack FM doesn't have any former pro athletes on our staff. Wait, does beer pong count? Playing what we want.
Gear up for your thermal hunting season with Shields Hunting Sale now through December 14th. Save up to $1,000 on Pulsar Thermal Optics. Save up to $400 on Vortex and Leupold Optics. Save on the top brands in ammo. And get a Shields gift card with your purchase of select Fox Pro electronic calls. Call in these savings and maximize your time in the field now through December 14th at Shields and Shields.com.
Nugget Bills, Nuggets all the way.
Hi, I'm Kylie.
I'm John.
And I'm Garrison.
And a little thing we love about the 30-count Chick-fil-A nuggets
is sharing them when we cut down the Christmas tree.
We will pack the car with gifts. And of course, we go and pick up our family's favorite nuggets.
Every nugget is tasty times quadrillion.
And we get all the sides.
Yeah, the ooey gooey mac and cheese is a big hit.
Share the nuggets, share the joy. Order the 30-count Chick-fil-A nuggets on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Pros don't just show up. They prove how it's done, with precision and without shortcuts. Makita tools are built the same way, with a dedication to lasting quality, trusted performance, and results that reward your effort year after year. When the job calls for the best, call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why
why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code CODE to get an extra 35 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code CODE for a 35 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code CODE for a 35 cents per gallon bonus.
This segment of 105.3 The Fan is brought to you by the Frankels. If you've been injured in a car truck wreck, call Frankel first. 214-817-3333. With Frankel & Frankel, there's never an out-of-pocket cost, and they only get paid when you win. Frankel & Frankel, the go-to car truck wreck attorneys in Dallas.
Shout out to you, Trevor, the creator, for another solid read. I'll tell you what, your reading just gets better and better every show.
You know what? Reading is fundamental.
Boy, isn't it?
I've heard that somewhere before.
Have you ever thought about maybe being doing audiobooks?
I actually have. My buddy's writing a book right now, and I said, if you
You're
don't
gonna
pick
read
me, if you don't pick me,
there's money.
Yeah.
We're not friends anymore.
Do you think you'll slide in a Frankel & Frankel read every now and again?
If they want to pay, they want to pay me to read this audiobook? Absolutely.
This chapter brought to you by Frankel & Frankel.
Frankel & Frankel.
Classic Chevrolet. You think you might work one of those in too while you're at it?
If you need some Tundras or wait, I don't think it.
I don't think Tundras are made by Chevrolet.
Never mind.
Actually, in fact, I'm almost. You're fired.
Maybe you don't want me.
You're
Maybe
fired.
you don't want me reading.
You know what?
Maybe
You're
don't
fired.
Want me reading at all.
I don't know whose idea it was to have Trevor reading audiobooks. He's fired. Okay, my man just had Chevrolets selling Tundras. So from the 601, good morning, fellas. Thanks for riding shotgun, trucking to Miami for a delivery. CA, let me get a smoky check. LOL.
Breaker 19. We got a bear in the air over I-20. If you're eastbound, you're all right. Westbound, you're in trouble. Got you down.
Trucking to Miami for a delivery. What do we think my man's taking to Miami anyway? 877-881-1053. 877-881-1053.
I need to smoky check.
Let's see here. From the 940, I ran the 400. Personal best was 49.3.
Nice.
My sophomore son was 48.8 at state this year. I still hear about it daily.
Yeah.
As you should. As you should. That's what we love about our kids. From the 469, hey, fellas, I'm a little down after watching my Buckeyes lose last night, but hearing your voices, I'm much better now. It's good to know that you guys always got me down.
Yeah, shout out
to you.
Yeah, and shout out to Jeremy. Said he's on his way to church, listening to you guys talk Mavs, and 105.3 The Fan producer.
BD Jeremy?
He must be back in the day.
I was going to say, he was clearly here before I got here.
Okay,
so.
Jeremy, I'm going to remember you in a minute. As soon as I'm not thinking sports, I'm going to remember
It'll
you.
happen.
Shout out to me.
It'll happen. It'll happen. By the way, the gentleman that our boy Nick, who is the Nemhard Jalen Brunson comparer, said he met CA at the Fan Phenom.
Yeah, that's where. You know what? When next time we do a crosstalk and we got Blake on, I've told people this year's Fan Phenom has not been announced yet.
No, it has not.
And Blake, when he won the Fan Phenom, he's still the reigning Fan Phenom.
He sure is.
And I told Blake to tell everybody this could take some time. Spittle doesn't make the decision like the next week.
It's a marathon.
In fact, this is probably the longest. It's December now. With Blake, they finished the competition in September.
Yeah.
It was in November after the Rangers won the World Series.
Mm-hmm.
That's how long it took. I think the only excuse Spittle has is we moved into a new building. That's the only thing I can think.
There is a lot going on.
Because
There is a lot going on here, 100%.
One of these days, we're going to announce the Fan Phenom. Somebody won it, but we just don't know.
From the 979, Colombian Bam Bam is one of the suggestions as to what our Tolo trucker to Miami might be carrying.
As long as he's not in the boat.
Oh, you took the words right out of my
Easy out there. If you're delivering, don't be in a boat. Even if it's on the lake. Don't do it.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Don't be doing it, but watch out them boats now. I'll tell you what, they will light you up, right, wrong, or indifferent.
Sure
all right, I said this yesterday. Blake and I, in typical Fred and Blake fashion, meant to get to it. Our hearts were in the right place, and then the next thing you know, we're talking about who knows what. But I said Thursday night to me, again, I haven't been knee-deep in Cowboys lore for the last 30 years like CA and a lot of you folks listening have been. I have been a diehard football fan all these years, though, as well. And I felt like Thursday was the supreme representation of a microcosm of the last 30 years of the Dallas Cowboys.
And you're right. Okay, so I've been covering the Cowboys since 1980. Tom Landry was still coach. Roger Staubach just retired. His press conference happened a month before I hit the ground running, 21 years old, chasing down these Cowboys. So I've seen it all. And this century, the Dallas Cowboys, I don't know if they've won 5 playoff games yet. This century.
Ooh.
I think they've won maybe 3. 877-81-1053. I'm just off the top of my head.
While you're talking.
So with that being said, the problem has always been, well, they've had some really nice regular seasons. In fact, I want to say over the last 10 years, their regular season win total matches Kansas City's. But Kansas City has a dynasty. The Cowboys used to be a dynasty in the 1990s and before that. So 20th century, they had some dynasties. So you're talking about how the Thursday night game where they got blown out by Detroit, when it looked like the Cowboys were on a roll, it looked like this might be their chance. It kind of does because right now they're counting on chaos. Mm-hmm. If they had won, they'd still be in the hunt as a legitimate hunter because they're on a roll. And this is the time of the year Tom Landry used to say, you want to be hot in December.
Yes.
Well, they have stumbled. Now, you've got Marty Schottenheimer's son, Brian Schottenheimer. He's not the same kind of coach that you've had the rest of the 21st century outside of Parcells. So you would think, okay, he might be able to keep some of this going. And they might win out, but that's good for the future. This does not mean they're going to the playoffs. They got to count on chaos. They got to count on, this is the simplest way to put it. They got to count on Philadelphia losing to the Chargers today and losing to the Buffalo Bills whenever they play the Bills. Because you know Philadelphia is going to beat Washington twice. That's all they got left.
I think they could lose one. If Jaden Daniels is playing.
If he's playing.
If Jaden, and he's supposed to be coming back today. Something about, and real quick about the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, if they win today, I told this to Blake the other day. If they win today, or is it today or tomorrow? No, they play tomorrow. That's right. They play tomorrow. As I was. They play tomorrow night.
Yeah.
No Jalen Carter tomorrow night.
He might be done for the rest of the year.
He might be done for the rest of the year.
He says he's trying to get ready for the playoffs. He's hurt.
Yeah, so that kind of lets you know all you need to know right there. I mean, when you're having procedures this late in the year on shoulders, that's never a good thing. But if the Eagles find a way, the positivity bunny in the locker room, have you seen this?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so the Eagles have a positivity bunny, like they inflated in their locker room. Okay,
whatever works.
And
I didn't think they were the kind of franchise that would do that.
Okay, I didn't think so either.
Their personality doesn't seem that way.
Now, I also saw where Nick Sirianni is starting to be a part of the offensive preparations, which, okay, so it took you 4 years and week 14 to finally figure this out.
But stop being a walk-around coach?
I mean, what are we doing?
Mm-hmm.
If they win tomorrow night, Cowboys are done.
Yeah, they are.
Because the Chargers are a good team and one of the better teams. I mean, maybe they're outside of the Bills are the two best teams they're going to face the rest of the way.
They're good enough.
They're good enough, exactly. So if the Eagles find a way to beat the Chargers tomorrow night, then your margin for error is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Because you ain't beat the Raiders, Commanders twice, and the Bills. You're going 3-1.
Yeah,
at worst in that scenario. So if you're a Cowboy fan, you absolutely must have the Chargers win that game tomorrow night.
And that's why I say they're counting on chaos. I predicted before the season started the Cowboys win 8 games. And I said, I don't even know if they'll make the playoffs with 8, but I see 8. And then after the Chicago game, I said, I don't see but 3 victories.
Yeah, it was
because that's when Eberflus didn't have the guys he needed to run his style.
Yeah.
And he refused to play the players at their strengths.
Right.
Well, he's got that defense right now the way he wants it, except for I say the way he wants it. Except for he's not, in my mind, he's not using DeMarvion Overshown properly. DeMarvion Overshown is an attacker. You don't have him in space in a zone, and he doesn't use Donovan Wilson the right way because he's also an attacker. You don't have him in space. He can't back up the cornerback who's not in the right spot. So that's what just kills me about his style of play on his defense, other than that.
I think the other thing, too, though, about Eberflus is I don't think it's a coincidence that let's look at the 3 games where your defense has gotten – I mean, your defense has had issues all year long, but what are 3 games where you really got roasted to the point where, I mean, it was almost embarrassingly bad? Detroit?
Yep.
Chicago?
Yep.
Green Bay?
Yep.
Okay, what all 3 of those teams have in
They're
common?
in the same division.
Okay,
hit you in the mouth.
Well, not just that, but I mean, look, they knew you.
They knew you.
They knew Eberflus. I mean, Eberflus got put into a clown suit.
Yes, those were his division foes when he was the head coach of the Bears.
They knew what was coming.
They know his game.
And you would have thought for a guy that coached against these guys all 4 years.
Right.
Because, hey, you knew Ben Johnson.
Yeah.
You knew Matt LaFleur.
Yeah.
You knew Dan Campbell.
Yes, sir.
And yet you got put.
They did what they always did to him, which is why he got fired in Chicago.
I don't like the idea of 4 defensive coordinators in 4 years. All right, that's a frightening proposition. But I don't know that Eberflus is doing the most with what he has right now. I don't see this defense. Because I don't understand what he's doing. I don't like the thing of it. And what happened?
Wait. Did you just quote? Wait a minute. Did you just quote Trayvon Diggs?
I mean, maybe I did by accident. And look, I think we're starting to understand a little bit because yes, does Trayvon have his own issues as far as just non-Matt Eberflus related stuff? Yes. And I think maybe that's kind of clouded. Like, okay, maybe Trayvon's got a point here when it comes to Eberflus. That entire coaching staff, and I don't want to make this just a Let's Bash Eberflus segment, but that entire coaching staff got body bagged on Thursday night.
They did.
Okay, I mean, look, we love Shoddy as much as the next guy.
We love Clayton Adams, and he got body bagged.
Clayton Adams,
offensive coordinator.
I'll tell you what.
But that offensive line got punked.
And that was the one group going into Thursday night's game that we weren't concerned about.
Yeah.
Nobody. I didn't say on these airwaves. I mean, you and I, Tolo. Trevor Tolo, I don't remember anybody saying, hey, look, we might want to be concerned about this offensive line.
No.
Now, Nate Thomas showed you why he's a 7th-round pick.
Exactly. But we thought Tyler Guyton, he's injured. Well, we got our boy. Nate's going to be good.
Nate will hold it down. Well, Nate held it down for about a quarter and a half, and then it was over.
Dak was sacked, rushed.
Dak was
slung around,
and I know a lot of you had a few
like a rag doll.
But I'll tell you what though, and I'll defer to you on this, and I'll just speak to the 18 months I've been here. That was probably the first time where after a Cowboys loss, we didn't have many text messages blaming Dak.
No.
This was the first time in probably a long time where
Right.
Dak was not the guy getting the blame for the loss.
Yeah, we saw the running back run at will. Oh boy, from the Lions.
Who, Jahmyr Gibbs?
Yes, Gibbs just setting records out there,
and
we're like untouched.
I think
and then offensive line. You saw the offensive line just killing Dak. Dak proved himself all season.
Your tackles killed you.
Well, yeah, exactly. So let's look at it like this. That game right there, you can't blame Dak for it. But at the same time, they probably would have blamed him for it if they didn't see the body of work of this season.
What are your thoughts on Pickens?
My thoughts on Pickens, well, he just had a bad game.
Yeah.
Not that it's – and see, for anybody who's – like I said, this I call speculation a sport. Speculation is a sport these days. People love to speculate. They were like, well, just because what Richard Sherman said afterwards, right? And Sherman doesn't know what he's talking about.
See, I didn't have a problem with what Richard Sherman said.
Well, that's his opinion, and that's fine. So I'm just saying, my opinion, he didn't know what he's talking about. But at the same time – where I was going with the speculation stuff is they were conflating things like, well, CD gets hurt and he doesn't know how to handle it. CD got hurt in the early part of the year for 3 games and he handled it well.
No, he was fine about that.
So you can't even say that. And then you say, well, he didn't. He seemed uninterested. All I can tell you is he had a bad game. That doesn't mean he's going to be a cancer for the rest of his career.
No, I don't either. But Blake made a great point yesterday when he said the performance you saw from Thursday, had you seen that the rest of this year? Had you seen anything remotely close to that the rest of the year?
Which is why people are like, what was that?
And that's why, and that's why I don't have a problem with what Richard Sherman said, because if you really listen to what he said, it wasn't really all that demeaning or inflammatory. It's just if you're gonna be the guy making $40 million, and by the way, last I checked, I mean, post-career notwithstanding, like, when did we decide that we were just going to crap on all pros? Because, look, think of it this way. Who better to understand what a wide receiver's effort level or engagement level is than Richard Sherman, who, oh, by the way, went to Stanford.
Understand all of that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Richard
Representing
Sherman
himself in his own
not-
contract negotiations. He's that smart.
Like, Richard Sherman is that dude.
So let me tell you, what did I just say? I said he didn't know what he's talking about. I didn't say he was wrong. I said he didn't know what he's talking about. And based on if he had seen the tape of Pickens without CD, he wouldn't make that comment.
Well, I don't necessarily agree with that.
You're saying, I'm going to say why I say that.
Yeah.
Because, again, you can't judge him by that one game and say, this is who he is or this is why he's that. Because you didn't see that when CD was out in October.
No, and I don't disagree with that. But I think what his point was, if you're going to be the guy making $40 million a year, when CD went down, what did every Cowboy fan in America say? All right, it's George Pickens' time.
Yep.
And guess what?
Because they've seen it before.
Because we've seen it. And again, my thing that I was just, we know he's not the greatest route runner. I'm not at all worried about what he does as a route runner.
Right.
We've seen it.
He's
seen
got
him
the
do his thing.
radius. He can get that ball out of nowhere.
But here's the problem. You picked your worst night to have your worst game.
Totally agree.
Because the thing about being a wide receiver is there are certain things you can control as a wide receiver. Now, I think the other part that we're totally overlooking is not giving near enough props to Dan Campbell, his defensive coordinator, and that coaching staff. Because that coaching staff said, you know what? And you and I have talked about this. This offense runs differently when it goes through CD or when it goes through George Pickens. Okay, that's not a slight at CD. CD, we know CD's got the pelts on the wall. We already know he's one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. We get all that, but things are just a little bit different when George Pickens is the main guy. Detroit knew that. Detroit said to themselves, "Look, CD," and this is where we're at with the Cowboys right now, where a team will say, you know what, we'll let CD beat us. We are not letting George Pickens beat us. And that's exactly what Detroit did. And
that's
I think
the
they
better
got,
answer.
And I think they got in George's head.
Possibly.
And I think this was the first time all year where a defense said, we are going to shut you down, and we don't think you have the mental fortitude to fight through it. And I think that was what happened to George Pickens. And so... And then, of course, when you go on IG afterwards...
I can buy that.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't... Look, this is not an indictment on George Pickens, the person. This was an indictment on, guess what? George had a rough game, and let's look at the underlying factors that went into it.
And you know what?
And let's give some props to... Because I'm going to tell you something else,
George even said that after the game, what you just said.
And let's not forget... Like, Dan Campbell's got something to prove.
He does.
Okay, Dan Campbell's sitting there saying to himself, so you mean to tell me all you guys thought that I was just a byproduct of coordinators the last few years? Oh, let me show you. And I'll tell you what, he said something, and I keep telling Trevor I'm going to find this audio. The post-game audio on Thursday night where he said, no one's going to tell us who the bleep we are.
That's right.
And I'll tell you what, and you know me,
He's got that swag.
He got
that Texas swag.
Former player.
Yes.
Hey, we're gonna punch you in the mouth, and you think you're gonna come into our place because look.
By the way, they don't lose the game after that. They don't lose 2 in a row.
56 games in a row without losing 2 in a row. And oh, by the way, let's not pretend this. All right, Vegas is not a road trip.
No.
Okay? When half your fans are your team, your people, okay, guess what? 50% of Dallas fans ain't showing up in Detroit.
Nope, even though it's got a roof.
Detroit fans came correct on Thursday night, bro.
They weren't selling their season tickets.
No, there was no PCL license or any of that. All right, we're up against it. All right, coming up next, let's talk a little college football.
High school football.
We got high school to get to. We got college to get to. Chaos ensues. Don't go anywhere. This is a fan after. Or no, it's 105.3 The Fan.
Hellsberg gifts checked off the list. Now, time for wrapping. Earrings for mom. A gold bracelet to match the rings Danielle wears every day. And for dad, a new watch, because we all know he needs one. All right, this is going to be a good one.
Our favorite things for your favorite people. Shop in store at Hellsberg.com for up to 50% off.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-345-2789. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-345-2789. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-345-2789. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-345-2789 or biglou.com.
Well, good morning, kiddo. I love that you're home from college. I've missed you.
Still taking your Nature-Made vitamins?
Every day. A multivitamin and a probiotic. You better be taking yours.
Still looking out for me, Mom.
I'll never stop.
Made to care for you every day. Nature-Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Find us in the vitamin aisle, based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
Pros don't just show up. They prove how it's done, with precision and without shortcuts. Makita tools are built the same way, with a dedication to lasting quality, trusted performance, and results that reward your effort year after year. When the job calls for the best, call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
Hey Tolos, it's Tony from East Dallas Diesel, and y'all already know what time it is. Football season in Texas. That means it's time to roll up to the game, tailgate, or watch party in something that stands out. One of our custom lifted rigs, blacked out Beast, or Texas Tough trucks. We make it easy. No hidden fees, no dealership games, and fast financing that can have you in and out in just under an hour. If you're a real Tolo who bleeds blue and silver, come see us at EastDallasDiesel.com. East Dallas Diesel, where custom comes standard and Tolos roll in style.
No one takes you inside the star like the Fan. The latest from our sources at Cowboys.com. Weekday mornings at 9:20 and 11 on your home of the Cowboys. 105.3 The Fan. Brought to you by Papa John's, the official pizza of the Dallas Cowboys.
With Target, gifting has never been easier. This Saturday and Sunday, Target gift cards are 10% off with Target Circle. Treat everyone on your list to something you know they'll love. Gift cards for the trendsetters, the techies, the fashionistas, the foodies, and even yourself. The perfect time to save is now. This deal is a yearly fave, so hurry. Get more gifting for your buck and save 10% on Target gift cards with Target Circle for 2 days only. Only at Target. Restrictions apply.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. Do you feel stupid for buying a timeshare? Don't. It's not your fault. You were most likely told you could rent it, and it was a great financial investment. And the deal was available today only. If this happened to you, contact your resort or Wesley Financial Group for help today.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-242-3131. 800-242-3131.
I asked a D&M executive the other day, who's your ideal customer? Someone frustrated with luxury car depreciation? Someone trading every few years and piling up negative equity? Or someone budget conscious looking to save 30 to 40% on a monthly payment? His answer was all of them and more. With 50,000 active customers, D&M has the program for you. Leasing is not renting. It's the smarter option. Call 817 or 972-35-LEASE or visit dmautoleasing.com.
We make leasing easy at D&M.
Jeff Cox here, president of Berkey's Plumbing, AC, and Electrical. If your home is over 8 years old, you might be due for an electrical inspection. If you're dealing with breakers tripping, dimming, or flickering lights, don't let these issues leave you in the dark. Save $75 on any plumbing, AC, heating, and electrical repair. $250 minimum service required. Call us today at 877-BERKEYS or visit us at Berkeys.com.
Berkey's, we're there when you need us.
Join the
Fan and G-Bag Nation as we support the Texas Rangers Toy Drive. Tuesday, December 9th from 4 till 7 p.m. at Globe Life Field. Rangers players, alumni, coaches, and broadcasters will be signing autographs while supplies last. Fans who bring new unwrapped toys will receive a ticket to a select 2026 Texas Rangers home game. It's a fun-filled afternoon supporting a great cause. For more information, go to rangers.com/toy drive.
This segment of 105.3 The Fan is brought to you by Classic Chevrolet. If you're in the market to upgrade your vehicle, get to Classic Chevrolet in Grapevine. Back-to-back #1 Chevy dealership in the world. They got more new Chevys than anyone, all priced to sell. Visit ClassicChevrolet.com. This is Texas. This is Classic Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. Based on new Chevy registrations 2023 and 2024.
Appreciate that, Mr. Trevor, the creator. Let's not forget Jake Ferguson also was a participant in not looking great on Thursday night, but we'll jump to that later on. I mean, maybe we will, maybe we won't. We've got a lot more to get to as the show goes on. But let's jump out to the D&M Leasing Hotline and welcome to the program. You know him from Fan University. You also know him from just being maybe the best looking guy in DFW media. We're talking about the one, the only Mr. Carter Freeman. Carter, how are we on this Sunday morning? I know you had a big run planned for today. We got college football playoffs. Kind of what's the Carter Freeman Sunday afternoon looking like?
Well, at 11, I got to tune into these rankings and wait like 30 minutes for them to actually get to the rankings. So it gives me a little leeway to get my run in because I'm going to go on a 5-mile run here in a second. And Fred, you promised me, Blake, and Jake a 5K yesterday. So
I did knock that down to a mile. I did knock that down to a mile. I think you guys had just started your show back up when I said that. So I will get a mile in before the next time I see you.
Okay, beautiful. But you guys, just before we get into the rankings and how it's all going to play out, just take a step back and realize that we live in a world now where Indiana, Duke, and Texas Tech are all conference champions. And that's just absolutely insane.
Final Four basketball.
And it's not, I was going to say, it's not a basketball breakdown.
This is not March Madness.
Nope.
This is December Madness. This is crazy. And what's so wild about it, they're making the decision in Grapevine. It's going to come out at 11 o'clock. All eyes on DFW to find out who's actually in. And there are 3 teams that, because Duke won the ACC tournament, Duke's not going to make it, are they? There's no way, right? They're not going to bring in Duke just because they won that tournament.
I don't think so. And if you watched any of the games yesterday, you saw they kept putting up the graphic that said James Madison, champions of the Sun Belt, had a 99.9% chance to make the tournament if Duke won, and Duke had that 0.1% chance, right? So just given that the committee ranked JMU in these last rankings and they did not rank Duke, you would think they would just keep the status quo and James Madison would end up being the 5th highest ranked conference champion over Duke. But look, Duke did beat a ranked Virginia team. Duke has now 8 wins over Power 4 competition. And my friends and I were trying to do the SEC thing last night where it's like, well, they lost to teams with 8 or more wins, right? Like there's 5 of them, but every team they lost to was good. So like they're actually not that bad. But I think at the end of the day, Duke is not going to make it. And unless the committee drops Alabama out of this thing entirely, I think the ACC is going to get shut out.
Okay, so let's do this. There's a musical chairs everybody's looking at, and it's Alabama, Notre Dame, and Miami. So you're saying Miami's not going to make it because they're ACC?
What I think is going to happen, and this isn't what I would do, but what I think is going to happen is, so Alabama, loses by 3 touchdowns yesterday. Does not look good. But what the committee did is they gave themselves some wiggle room by moving them above Notre Dame.
Yeah.
So I don't think they're going to punish them for losing the conference championship game. They're just going to drop them a spot, because what that'll do, Alabama will go from 9 to 10. They'll still be in the field. Notre Dame will go from 10 to 9. And then that will give a buffer team, Alabama, in between Notre Dame and Miami. Because if Notre Dame and Miami are right next to each other and Notre Dame is in front of Miami, that is a crime because we saw Miami beat Notre Dame on the football field earlier this year. So the only way I think Miami makes it is if they decide that Alabama looked awful yesterday, has looked awful pretty much the entire month of November. Alabama really peaked in the middle of October and has not looked like a team that can win a national championship in about a month and a half. So unless they decide that they are completely out and they don't deserve to be in, I don't see a path for Miami to make it. If it was me, I would drop Alabama because they haven't looked like that. And when you get down to Miami and Alabama, putting them side by side, they actually have a common data point. Miami beat Florida State. Alabama did not. And that's a Florida State team with a losing record. So I think they're closer than people want to believe because Alabama's SEC. I think people are always, they played a tough schedule, which they did. But they also struggled in these games, and they lost to the same team that Miami beat. And so I still think Alabama and Notre Dame are going to be your final two teams in. But I don't know, man. This committee, they seem like they changed their qualifications week by week. So we'll find out in a couple hours, right?
Well, we will. And then, Carter, my question when it comes to Alabama is kind of the bigger question. If you leave Alabama out, which, look, I wouldn't have a problem with, but then at that point, and as literally everybody's been tweeting out since last night and first thing this morning is, well, then you might as well kiss the conference championship games goodbye if you leave out Alabama, because then nobody will ever want to play a conference championship game if, oh, by the way, if you lose bad enough, you're going to lose your spot.
I think what the conferences need to do is, at least the Power 4 conferences, that is, they need to adopt the way that the Group of 5 conferences do it, at least a few of them. The way the American works is the highest-ranked teams are automatically in the title game because we're dealing with conferences with 16, 17, 18 teams. It's way too big, and the tiebreakers are way too complicated for the average person to figure out. So, look, if the SEC said, all right, we have 7 teams with 1 or 2 losses at the top. We're going to take the top 2 ranked teams in the CFP. This year, that would have been Georgia and that would have been Ole Miss, right? Those 2 teams that you don't have question about them getting left out. But because of the way Alabama has looked over the last couple, weeks of the season, they lost to Oklahoma, they lost to Georgia today. You kind of have questions about that.
Yeah.
But if you just take the 2 highest ranked teams, none of them are going to be generally, I would think, are going to have any worry, at least in the SEC and the Big Ten, about getting left out. So you need to tweak how the teams get into the conference title games, because I don't want to get rid of them. I still think winning your conference should matter, because if Indiana won last night, or, Indiana wins last night, they deserve to jump Ohio State, and Ohio State deserves to fall, right? So there we can have our cake and eat it too, but we can't have that in the SEC where Georgia gets the benefit of winning it and Alabama doesn't get punished for losing it. I don't know, man. Changes need to happen, but I don't want them to get rid of these games personally.
Oh, they're not going to get rid of them. There's too much money. Too much money to be made.
That's why I think Alabama's going to make it, because it's going to be, because once you drop Alabama, if you do, then all of a sudden now it's kind of you let Pandora out of the box. All right. Any last-second thing that you're looking for, or any last-second crazy prediction from Carter Freeman as it pertains to the playoffs? Like, hey, we'll see UT slide in.
No way.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think we talked about this on Fan University yesterday, how there's just too many teams in between Texas and that 10 spot that they would end up making, because they'd be the last team in if a miracle happens and they somehow make it. But as far as Texas goes, if they make it in by, a miracle of God, they're going to be the 10 seed, and they would go on the road, right? Texas's road record this year?
Not, 2 and 3? Yeah.
And they don't have a win in regulation on the road. So you're going to tell me that team is going to go on the road and go on a run? I know they've beaten, they beat Oklahoma, they beat Vanderbilt, they beat A&M. That was all neutral site or at DKR. I'm not buying that they can go on the road when they haven't shown it all season long. It's not just the Ohio State game, it's the games at Kentucky and Mississippi State and obviously the losses they've had. So I don't think they make it. The biggest thing I'm looking forward to is, when is OU going to host whoever they host, because I will be at that game.
Love it.
I just need to figure out when I get to drive up to Norman and see my Sooners score 13 points in the CFP and still win by 3.
I love it. I love it. And look, we got one of your boomers in here as well, Mr. CA. Carter, enjoy the run. Okay? In through your nose, out through your mouth, and we'll talk to you later.
Yeah, am I going to see you guys at the Sandlot tonight?
Yes, you will. This afternoon, 4 o'clock, Jared Sandler's event. Yeah, out at Globe Life Field. We'll be there.
Boom. There you have
Beautiful. We can recap all the craziness later today.
It'll come out in an hour and a half.
All right, big man. Enjoy your run.
All right, see you guys.
There you have it, the one, the only Carter Freeman Fan University. All right, first hour in the books, ladies and gentlemen. Lots to get to in hour number 2. Your text messages more. Don't go anywhere. This is 105 through the Fan.
When your friends say, hey, did you hear? You can proudly say, I heard it on the Fan. Keeping you sports informed with some quality laughs along the way. Turn it on and leave it on. 105.3 The Fan, the Odyssey app, iHeartRadio app, and TuneIn app.
There are only about 4,300 publicly traded companies on the U.S. stock exchange. But there are an estimated 33 million companies in the U.S. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. The average investor is missing out on over 99% of the investment opportunity that's happening in this beautiful country until now. True portfolio strength is found beyond the confines of the S&P 500, investing in promising companies before they go public. Private real estate, infrastructure, world-changing technologies. This is called the endowment model. The endowment model has historically outperformed the traditional model of just stocks and bonds. If you're an accredited investor and want more from your investments, it's time to think beyond just stocks and bonds. Call Trajan today, 469-579-3500. That's 469-579-3500.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. See website for details.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877 Cars for Kids. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Hurry! It's your last chance to donate for 2025. Last chance! Donate now for a 2025 tax deduction.
Oh, no.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
My debit card.
their debit card.
Where'd I leave that thing?
Not at the gas pump, or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my card.
Yep, just a few tippy taps on his phone, and that sound? That's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
I woke up this morning feeling like I was coming down with something. Cough, congestion, headache. My first thought was, nope, this can't happen. I have big plans this weekend. So I took Mucinex Kickstart. It provides all-in-one and done relief with a morning jolt of instant cooling sensation. Thanks to Mucinex Kickstart, I didn't even need to cancel my weekend plans. If you start feeling cough and congestion coming on, take Mucinex Kickstart for relief with a kick. At your favorite retailer. Use as directed.
Oh, how's that flu, babe? Did you take Dayquil Intense Flu yet?
Nah, I got this. Ugh, okay, I don't got this.
You stay on the couch, and I'll grab the Dayquil.
Undo your flu symptoms with Dayquil Intense Flu. Dayquil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms.
I'm ready for that to-do list.
Wow, you do got this.
Dayquil Intense Flu. The daytime coughing, aching, fever, under your flu, medicine. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
How do you go from 95 days with your home sitting on the market to selling in just 3? Orchard. One family's home sat 95 days with no sale. They switched to Orchard and sold in just 3 days. When your home sits unsold, it leads to price cuts. Not with Orchard. Their agents sell 99% more homes than other agents. And with their Move First program, you can buy before you sell. Don't get stuck on market. Sell smarter with Orchard. Get your free home valuation at Orchard.com. That's Orchard.com.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
This is the exclusive home of Dallas Cowboys football. KRLD-FM and HD1, Dallas-Fort Worth. Let's go, Cowboys.
An Odyssey sports station.
Driven by our D&M Leasing Studios. Thanks for turning it on, leaving it on. 105.3 The Fan.
Hour number 2 of the program happening right now. Glad to have each and every one of you on board on this Sunday morning here on December 7th, a day that'll live in infamy.
Thank you for your service.
Absolutely.
All you guys out
Absolutely.
there.
Shout out to everybody. And, of course, I don't know how many Pearl Harbor survivors we have left.
You ever been out there?
I have not.
I have.
I heard it's unreal out there.
It's unreal. I went out there. I was out there covering a Pro Bowl or something.
Yeah.
And I'm out there, and they have tourist boats. They have these little boats you can go out there, and the ship is sunk out there.
Yes.
So I'm out there on this ship. I mean, on this boat, and the majority of the tourists were from Japan.
Yeah.
Not just Japanese Americans. I'm talking about from Japan. And they were taking pictures and stuff. I'm like, it was real weird.
Side eye him a little
it was
bit.
Like real weird. Like, y'all happy?
Y'all sure see me really happy taking them pictures over there, huh?
I don't understand. A little awkward.
Kind of reminds me that Curb Your Enthusiasm episode where Larry David gives a guy a hard time because the guy said that his dad his grandpa was a kamikaze pilot that survived. Larry said, well, then obviously your grandpa wasn't that good of a...
Yeah.
Can you really say he was a kamikaze pilot? Because
Right.
he's like,
He's still alive.
He changed his mind at the last second. So.
Psych. Psych.
What a world, ladies and gentlemen. What a world. Welcome in. It is The Fan on I keep getting ready to say Fan After Dark. It's Fan on a Sunday morning. I'll tell you what, it is. It's still a little foggy outside.
Let me give you that weather update.
A little over. I'd ask for nothing more.
Here's the deal. It's going to be in the 50s and 40s. This fog is thick, dense fog, right?
Yeah.
So the flights might be delayed. I'm sure they are. But it's going to burn off just like yesterday afternoon around 2 o'clock. It burned all the way off. And guess what? The rest of the week is going to be sunny and in the 60s. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It's going to have sunny and in the 60s. This dense fog is for this morning only.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it. And right now, what's it, about 45, 50 degrees?
Yeah, right in there.
I didn't think it was that bad walking out to my car this morning.
No, because it's not windy or nothing. And by the way,
that's
why there's fog, because there's no wind. If there were wind, there would not be fog. Promise you.
Don't sleep on that wind now. Do not sleep in that wind or on the wind. All right, here we go. Let's take a look at some of the NFL games we've got for you guys today. Now, we have 2 games here on the radio station.
Trevor, who we got?
Trevor, this is where Trevor's going to get up. He's going to mosey on over to
our schedule.
Our schedule that's posted there.
First game is Bears versus Packers.
Okay, that's what I thought that, but I didn't want to get ahead of myself. Okay.
And the Bears win again?
And then the afternoon game is?
Broncos versus Raiders.
Well.
Does Bo Nix actually throw the ball a lot more?
I mean...
Because he can try, he can practice. Raiders are...
I like the first game. Yeah. Chicago, Green Bay, Las Vegas, and the Denver Broncos. I'll tell you what's crazy. I saw, and look, gambling information, gambling stuff is everywhere these days, and that's just the way of the world. I've seen more than one person say, oh, you got to take the Raiders to cover. Now, the Raiders are getting Raiders are given 7.5 points, all right?
That's not big enough to take the Raiders.
I don't care how bad Denver's offense, and I've seen plenty of tweets and memes and stories over the last week and a half. Denver's the worst 10-2 team in football, and maybe that is the case. Maybe they are not the best 10-2 team we've ever seen in the history of the National Football League, and I don't think anybody would have a problem with that. But unless you've watched the Raiders, and I did, because
they play the Cowboys.
Because I'm a masochist, and I watched the Raiders last Sunday, damn near the entire game, because I took the Raiders and the 10 against the Chargers. Because I thought, hey, and this is where people are getting things confused, right? Is, your father's Raiders, all right?
Right.
Your
Al Davis's
Raiders, my Raiders, okay, from back in the day, even though they were a crap franchise, somehow, some way found a way to at least be competitive against division opponents, right? Because it didn't matter who the quarterback was. They would somehow, some way still be competitive against division opponents. And that's kind of NFL 101, right? Is, throw the records out. That team, I feel bad for Ashton Genty.
Yeah, Frisco's own.
It's a luxury to draft a running back in the first round. Okay, it really is. I mean, you look at Detroit when they drafted Jahmyr Gibbs a couple years ago, okay? It made sense because you'd hit on so many other picks. You had Jared Goff signed, right?
Yep.
You had, Penny Sewell had materialized,
Offensive
right?
line.
You had a lot of pieces on offense and defense. Jamison Williams, even though, and the one thing about the Detroit I'll give them credit for is they stand by their guys, and they do. I mean, again, Jamison Williams was a Heisman Trophy winner, right? So it's not like you were taking some huge gamble on this dude, and you saw him the other night. I mean, he was a difference maker, right? He was a difference maker. So you have to be in that echelon of we're one or two key pieces away from being a contender when you go out and get a running back in the top 10, dare I say top 15, and you went out and took Ashton Genty when you've got a miserable offensive line. All right, you've got a miserable defense for the most part. And I say miserable only in the sense that, yes, they do have some pieces on that defense, but here's the problem. They're on the field so damn much.
Yeah, and the other thing about the running back, if you were to be crazy enough to draft one that high and you don't have an offensive line, you got to have a bruiser.
What, yeah, boy?
Ashton Genty is LaDainian Tomlinson. He is not Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
You got to have a big boy to push the offensive line if you don't have one. And Genty's not the guy. I'm afraid they're going to hurt him. They're going to get him hurt.
Look, you're not wrong for that, and I don't know how many times I watched that game last Sunday, and my man's getting hit behind the line of scrimmage. He's getting hit as soon as he gets the ball.
Yeah.
Geno Smith, who's been a good quarterback for the last 5-6 years or whatever it is. Look. And no one's going to get Geno Smith confused for being an all-pro or, a borderline Pro Bowler. At the same time, this dude's taking a beating this year.
Sure.
All right. I'm not trying to make an excuse for him.
You're just saying.
But he's just there's not a quarterback alive that could survive in the environment that the Raiders are in.
Put it like this, if he were a young quarterback, he'd have the yips and retire.
He'd be David Carr.
He'd be David Carr all over again.
Okay.
But he's a veteran. He's been through these things, but he's still getting an ass whooping every week.
And he's getting paid. Mm-hmm. My man's getting $35 million, and I'll tell you what, he's earned every dollar.
Every dollar.
He's earned every dollar of it.
Dollar.
So if you want to listen to Raiders futility, then guess what? 105 The Fan this afternoon. Make sure you do it.
Might be some people driving. They might want to.
You might. Hey,
maybe.
Look, there's been other things you could listen to. Now that Chicago Green Bay game. That's an important game.
It is.
Right? Because you've got a Green, and first of all, that's and this is as of a couple days ago. I haven't looked at the spreads yet today, but I know when Blake and I did our picks for the weekend, Green Bay was a 6.5-point favorite over Chicago. Green Bay's been just been a weird team all year long.
Right.
That defense, it has gotten better. That defense for as good and as shut down as they looked in week 1, right? And we thought, oh my God, this team! If this is, and they did to the Lions, so you're thinking to yourself, man, if they do this could be this team could be all time. And then of course reality set in. They lose to the they tie the Cowboys. They lose to the Cleveland Browns, and so it's been kind of a weird season for them. But they beat Detroit last week and did so pretty handily. And now you got a Chicago team, maybe one of the hottest teams in the NFL, who is winning in spite of their quarterback. Right. And Ben Johnson's made no bones about saying that. Like, we're not winning because of our quarterback. We're winning in spite of our quarterback. He understands that, though, and we're going to fix some things to make sure we get it right.
You know where it gets fixed? And I heard this story back in September because Ben Johnson's a genius. Everybody knows that. You see why they're winning.
He's different.
Caleb Williams needs to stop being creative like Lamar Jackson. In other words, he doesn't have to do that. All he has to do is run that system and then use his creativity to bail him out. Not creativity first.
Seriously.
It's like, just do the basic first. The team is good enough around you. You don't have to try stuff.
No, you don't.
And so he's kind of learning Ben Johnson's system. In other words, beat Jared Goff for a little while.
That's it, and that's okay. You're exactly right.
We know you're creative. Rein that in, and then you can be creative when you need to.
Get the fundamentals down first, then you can start. We'll give you the opportunity to freelance. Looking at the rest of the games over here in the noon slate, you've got Seahawks and Falcons. Seahawks are -7 right now. The Falcons are a weird team. I don't know what to make of the Atlanta Falcons. I saw something earlier this week where if Raheem Morris and this team go winless down the stretch or go like 1-4, there could be some change, some upheaval in Atlanta. And they're
not going to bring in Belichick.
They're not bringing in Belichick.
That's who. Remember when they picked Raheem over Belichick?
But they're talking about they may get rid of their front office too, though. And that would look.
You know what? That's what I'm glad you said that, because that's why they didn't pick.
That's why they bring Belichick.
Belichick was talking about, we're going to do all these different changes. The front office says, no, we got to keep our jobs. That's like if Belichick came to the Cowboys and said, well, we don't need Steven and Will and Jerry. You stay up in your office and I got this.
It never happened.
See, Belichick is kind of like Parcells.
Yeah.
I run things.
I buy the groceries.
Yep.
That's it. I just saw, and tell you what, Bill, 17th ranked recruiting class after early signing day. Something to think about. Hey, I'm a Bill Belichick guy. Yes, is he weird? Yes, is this whole 24-year-old girlfriend thing a little too much?
That's the problem.
That's he's
distracted.
He is, and which is
I'm just saying. The reason I'm saying that is because his whole life. This didn't happen to Jimmy Johnson, but Jimmy Johnson, when he came to the Cowboys, he fired his wife.
Yeah, he did.
He said, I have nothing against her, but her lifestyle is Miami, and I got to rebuild this team. Yeah. I ain't got time for a personal life. So he put everything into the Cowboys and got you 2 out of 3 Super Bowls.
2 out of 3 Super Bowls.
So actually 3 out of 4.
Yeah.
With that being said, Belichick goes to North Carolina. He's not that same guy. He's not Bill from the New England
Bill
Patriots.
From the block. No, he's not. He's not Bill from the
Jenny from the block.
He's not. And now, got the 17th ranked recruiting class. We'll see how that materializes in year 2. That team did look better as the year went on. All right, they did lose a couple games. There was one game, I think it was against Cal. A couple turnovers killed them. I think they were going in to score and fumbled the ball. They ended up losing to NC State, but there were a couple games where they looked more competitive. Bill, we will forever remember Bill in New England.
Yeah.
Okay, like that 20-year run, the hoodie Bill.
Focused.
01
Mumbled.
to 2020 Bill.
He's going to the Hall of Fame. He's one of the candidates on the senior list.
And rightfully so.
I'm talking about this year.
Yeah, right? I mean, look, he's a finalist, right?
Yeah, finalist on the senior committee thing.
So we'll never forget. We will forever be, look, and I don't want to get into he only won because of Brady. Well, we'll never know because Brady, I don't know what Brady looks like without Bill Belichick. Now, he
won Tampa Bay.
He did, but he was also 20 years in by that point. Okay, so
we're like this. His supporters can say he won without Belichick, but Belichick can't say it. But at the same time, I understand your argument because for all those years they were dominant.
Well, but let's not also forget, too, I mean, he was also the D coordinator for Bill Parcells and won 2 Super Bowls with that group.
Okay, so what I always throw out the argument, and you can Google this up, it's not about Bill winning without Brady.
Yeah.
It's Bill winning without Ernie Adams. Look up Ernie Adams and what
the shadow figure.
Uh-huh.
Okay, did you ever watch that Apple special?
No, but I got a friend who wrote a book about him with all the dirt.
Ernie Adams knows where the bodies are buried.
He does.
Ernie Adams.
He went to high school.
Hey, that's his henchman. That's his boy.
I'm telling you. And when Ernie retired, right after Brady went to Tampa. They ain't done nothing.
I'll give you one. Throw a little politics in and just kind of get people a little riled up this morning. He is Ernie Adams. Ernie Adams is to Bill Belichick as Karl Rove is to George W. Bush.
Well,
Huh?
Well.
Huh? There you have it. All right, coming up next, we'll look at the afternoon slate. We'll look at a couple more games here in the early slate as well. And I promise you, at 10:40, we will take a look at all the high school games here in the state of Texas.
Top of the hour, when they start telling who the teams are, we're going to give you the matchups as projected.
We'll give you the matchups as well.
So we can keep you posted.
100%. Lots to get to. Feel free to text in as well. We'll start reading some of y'all's texts. Shame on us. It's just been a loaded show already. 877-881-1053. That is the Franklin Injury Attorney text line. Don't go anywhere. It's 105.3 The Fan.
Sean and RJ, the KNC Masterpiece, G-Bag Nation, and Fan After Dark. Live and local. Turn it on and leave it on. 105.3 The Fan. And our Odyssey, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn apps.
Big news in auto leasing. D&M Leasing has acquired AutoFlex Leasing, creating the largest independent auto leasing company in the U.S. To our AutoFlex customers, you're still working with the same trusted team, just under the D&M name. Now enjoy even more and better terms with D&M's buying power and no payments until 2026 on your new lease. Keep your cash where you need it and save even more this holiday season. Visit dmautoleasing.com or call 817 or 214-35-LEASE today.
We make leasing easy at D&M.
Hannah Berner, None of My Business Tour.
I'm so jealous of bald men. It is so shimmery and beautiful, like a baby dolphin, okay? It's not fair, because when men are hairy, it's fine, they call them bears. You know what they call girls who are hairy? Single, and it's not cool, it's not feminist.
Hannah Berner, live on stage in Durant at Choctaw Grand Theater, Friday, February 20th. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
North Texas, those summer storms were brutal. Don't head into winter with a damaged roof.
I'm Caden Vining with Greystone Roofing. Our licensed inspectors will inspect your roof free of charge. And for a limited time, we'll upgrade you to a Class 3 impact-resistant shingle, free.
That upgrade can save you 15 to 20% every year on insurance premiums. Real savings that help offset those big deductibles when a storm hits.
Call Greystone Roofing today. Trusted, licensed, family-owned, and local.
Schedule now at greystone-roofing.com.
On the days when you're thriving.
Come on, everyone. You're almost there.
The nights when you need us most.
Mom, I don't feel good.
And every moment in between. As a Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Texas member, we are committed to helping you stay covered at each stage of life. Whatever challenges may come your way, our mission is to be here for you and your family so you can feel confident as the new year approaches. Visit StandByYouTexas.com to see the steps you'll need to take to renew your coverage. And with over 90 years of experience, you can expect personalized guidance throughout the process, helping you stay covered into 2026 and beyond. We thank you for trusting us on your health and wellness journey through it all. Visit StandByYouTexas.com or call 888-672-2583 to renew your coverage today.
Gear up for your thermal hunting season with Shields Hunting Sale now through December 14th. Save up to $1,000 on Pulsar thermal optics. Save up to $400 on Vortex and Leupold optics. Save on the top brands in ammo and get a Shields gift card with your purchase of select Fox Pro electronic calls. Call in these savings and maximize your time in the field now through December 14th at Shields and Shields.com.
Hello, seniors 65 and older. Want more personalized health care? Then check out CenterWell Senior Primary Care in DeSoto in the Walmart on West Beltline Road in I-35 East. At CenterWell, your senior-focused doctor spends more one-on-one time with you. You really feel heard, not hurried. Also, current patients enjoy same-day appointments and 24/7 phone access to the care team. Schedule a tour at CenterWell DeSoto at meetcenterwelldallas.com.
This is Ryan Watson, owner of Alliance Hyundai. During the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event, we have over 600 vehicles in stock, like the all-new 2025 Hyundai Santa Fe. Every new Hyundai comes with America's best warranty, 10 years, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty, and owner's assurance. Visit us at AllianceHyundai.net today.
This is the story of the one. As the purchasing manager at a manufacturing plant, she knows the only thing more important than having the right safety gear is having it there when you need it. That's why she partners with Grainger for auto reordering, so her team members can count on her to have cut-resistant gloves on hand, and each shift can run safely and efficiently. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, nice job, Pete. I like those clean lines. Fellas, do we have anyone that can get to Greenport today?
At Corey's Landscaping, the staffing plan is in the weeds.
Anthony, we need that leaf blower over here. 3 more new customer requests just came in. Who wants to work some overtime?
He needs to dig up quality landscapers and fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
I love to cook for the holidays, and I love the way the house smells, and no better smell than a beautiful steak cooking on the grill. And right now, you can gift the family and friends USDA certified tender steaks, juicy burgers, cozy and convenient comfort meals, and so much more. During their Sizzle All the Way sale, you can get 50% off site-wide at omahasteaks.com. Plus, our listeners get an extra $35 off with promo code Corey at checkout. Right now is the perfect time to save on delicious gifts and holiday hosting favorites. Every steak is perfectly aged to maximize tenderness and hand-cut by master butchers in America's heartland. Grass-fed, grain-finished beef has more marbling for exceptional flavor and is the choice of steakhouses and professional chefs around the world. Save big on gourmet gifts and more holiday favorites with Omaha Steaks. Visit omahasteaks.com for 50% off site-wide during their Sizzle All the Way sale. And for an extra $35 off, use promo code Corey, C-O-R-Y, at checkout. Terms apply. See site for details. That's omahasteaks.com, promo code Corey.
This segment on 105.3 The Fan is brought to you by the Frankels. If you've been injured in a car or truck wreck, call Frankel first. 214-817-333-3333. With Frankel & Frankel, there's never an out-of-pocket cost, and they only get paid when you win. Frankel & Frankel, the go-to car truck wreck attorneys in Dallas.
What a read. What a read. Tell you what. I don't know if you'll read my audiobook when it comes out. In fact, I'll probably just go ahead and narrate it myself. But I may have a remix where we just throw in extra little reads.
Hold up, wait a minute.
You know what I'm saying? I might have a little Trevor the Creator mix. Did the Stars play last night?
Stars did not play last night.
What's the update on everybody's favorite Dallas
they got the best
Star
record.
team?
They got the best record in the league. What, 19 wins?
We're
5 losses,
second
5
best
ties?
second
behind
best
Colorado,
record.
right? They're a point
Right
behind Colorado?
Yep.
They're on fire.
Where's my bell at? Let me ding. I'm going to ring my own bell.
I
okay?
do have a Stars update for you.
Uh-oh. What you got?
Former owner of the Stars.
Yeah.
Tom Hicks. He also owned the Rangers and the Stars. He passed away at the age of 79.
Oh, all right.
Passed away. He was sick.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he bought the Stars out of nowhere in the late 90s. They won the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
He owned the Rangers when they went to those when they won the American League West a couple of years in a row.
Okay.
Juan Gonzalez and
Pudge.
But he also is the one that gave A-Rod the most largest, biggest, $250
Was that a 10-year, $250 million deal to lure him from
something
Seattle?
like that. But what everybody was mad about was the second offer. Like, he outbid himself. The second offer wasn't like $160 million. That's
Gave him almost $100 million more than what the closest offer was.
Yeah, and everybody like, what? And then he also bought in soccer. He bought Liverpool.
Yep.
So
Tom
he's
just
he
throwing that money around like
slinging around a little
drunken
bit.
sailor. Okay, I ain't mad at you, Tom.
Yep. So R.I.P. to him, and
R.I.P.
thoughts and prayers to his family.
Love. You hate to hear it, but you at the very least, we love when our owners aren't afraid to spend a little cash.
Right.
Okay. Talking to you, Ray Davis.
One point, he had the biggest house in Preston Hollow or Highland Park. His biggest house in town.
Where did Tom make his loot? Do we know?
Oh yeah, it was hedge funds, but he's also bought a whole bunch of billboards or something like that. He was wheeling and dealing.
Tom.
And
He
finance.
co-founded Hicks and Haas in '84. So that I don't know what that.
Do we know what Hicks and Haas? I mean,
private equity and investing.
Well, Hicks and Haas and Hicks, Muse, Tate, and First. A little after that. So he was doing some things.
Now, was he from Dallas?
Yeah.
Born and raised, DF Dub.
And he passed away here in Dallas.
DF Dub. Shout out to Tom Hicks, man. Put some respect on Tom Hicks' name.
Yeah, and he owned it. His sons were running the Liverpool team. I think he had 50% of that.
Does he still have it?
I think they
Liverpool?
still do. I think they still do.
877.
By the way, shout out to everybody involved with the World Cup that's coming next summer.
Man.
I rented Gina Miller and Dan Hicks, who runs FC Dallas, and he's
now, is Dan related to Tom?
No.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Not Dan Hicks. My bad. Dan Hunt. Clark Hunt's brother. The Hunts that own the Chiefs.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, Dan, my bad.
Hey.
Ran into Dan, and because I'm conflating these things.
I mean, look,
Hicks with his
Hicks,
Liverpool.
Hunt, whatever.
Hunt.
That bank account's fat
Dan,
either way.
Exactly.
So they're doing okay.
That's that old money. Yeah, Lamar Hunt's sons, Clark and Dan. Clark, of course, runs the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And I've been knowing Clark forever. Dan's first time I met him last night. He was at the Mavericks game. But we've been knowing of each other for I don't know how long.
Right.
But yeah, you got England coming down here. You got Japan's going to be here. Argentina's going to be here. And as you put it, 3 of the greatest players in soccer, this will be their last World Cup because they're going to be too old and retire.
Yeah, no.
And they're going to be in Arlington. At AT&T, which is going to be called Dallas
Stadium. Yeah.
The 9 matches, it's going to be sick this summer.
It's this summer's going to be wild.
Congrats and props to Gina too. She was all over that.
No, it's going to be a wily summer coming up here.
Hey, you know something crazy? So Lamar Hunt,
crazy.
back in the day, I'm covering all these sports and stuff. Lamar Hunt owns the Kansas City Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
He also was doing World Team Tennis. And he's got this fingerprints on soccer. Well, I'm covering the Chicago Bulls in the finals. Their second championship.
Yeah.
I'm in the locker room. Everybody's partying. A big celebration. I'm doing interviews. And here comes Lamar Hunt wandering in. I said, Mr. Hunt, because we know each other from Dallas.
Yeah.
Covering stuff. I said, what are you doing up here? Just hanging out? He goes, well, Chris, I own part of the Bulls, too. I said, whoa. So he said, yeah, I get a ring. I was like, oh, look at you.
Man, don't sleep on Lamar Hunt.
And Lamar Hunt is the guy who coined the phrase Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You know this because you're a Chiefs fan.
He's shout out to our boy
and
Lamar Hunt.
And for those who don't know, the Kansas City Chiefs
and was a founding member of the MLS.
That's right. The Dallas Texans were the Chiefs before they moved up to Kansas City, and they took
the Hunts are big in the soccer world.
Yes, they are.
I mean, that was one of those. It was kind of a foregone conclusion. Like you knew Dallas and Houston were going to get games. I mean, I don't think that was a huge reach, but it was kind of a foregone conclusion as well that Kansas City was going to get a game as well because it's like, look, this is what Lamar Hunt does, like, and then the Hunt family. And Clark played semi-pro or professional indoor soccer back in the day. My boy, he coaches the Midlothian soccer team. Dadgummit, I did a roof for him as well. We had him on the show way back when. Won a couple state championships. One of the best female soccer coaches in the state of Texas. And he's got a picture on his wall of him and Clark Hunt going for a ball. Real quick. All right, so as you Bear fans and football fans have alerted us on the Franklin Frankel injury attorney text line, so the Bears and Green Bay game got flexed.
Thank God
to
it
3
saved
o'clock,
us. It saved us. Come on,
it really did save the fan. You're not wrong about that. So
shout out
to the NFL. Shout out to Tim Collins and Gavin for making this change. So the Bears and the Packers, which I'm guessing is going to be a 3:25 game. If
3 o'clock start, so pregame starts.
And
at
you
3
can hear it right here.
Okay, so that game will. So we've still got that game, but that game's going to be 3 o'clock.
What we were going to have was
the Turd Ferguson Bowl with the Raiders and
the Broncos, which is a mess, and you're like, oh, boy.
Nobody wants to see that outside of Jagon and Terrell. Shout out to him being a Denver Bronco fan and being a lifelong Tolo and Fatty. So we do love Jagon and Terrell for that. But I mean, I don't even know if Jagon wants to watch and sit through the drudgery that would be the Broncos and the Raiders. So that game, I think you can find it on a transistor radio somewhere. Mm-hmm. At noon, you'll be able to listen to Bengals at Bills.
Oh, that'll work.
Right?
Joe Burrow and Josh Allen?
That's going to be a good game.
Yeah.
That's going to be a good game because, look.
Anything can happen.
You've got a Bills team that.
They need it.
Well, they not only do they need it,
you
but
can't trust them.
They're a weird. They've been very Jekyll and Hyde all year long. All right, they'll go out, they'll beat the Chiefs, they'll go out and they'll beat the Ravens, and then the next thing you know, they'll turn around and then they'll lose to the Miami Dolphins. Okay, or they'll get boat raced by the Atlanta Falcons. Right. All right, so just a very weird topsy-turvy year. They still don't have a legit number one wide receiver. Dalton Kincaid's been hurt for the last couple of weeks, so that team. I mean, outside of Josh Allen, which again, when you got a quarterback like that, you're in every game, and James Cook, who's probably one of the most underrated running backs in the National Football League as far as I can tell, but they've got their work cut out for them because now you got a Bengals team with Joe Burrow's back.
You never know, man.
That defense is still Swiss cheese, so we'll see how that whole thing plays out, but could I see, and let's not pretend like the Bills defense is any good.
Correct.
All right, that Bills defense ain't anything that is not great either. Could I see this being a 42-38 type game today?
Easily. Wildly
Easy.
entertaining.
So, you got your props out. You got your fantasy team.
Keep it right here.
You'll feel good about that, but that game's going down at 12 o'clock. Like I said, we're here till 11:30, and that's when the pregame kicks off. So you'll have Bengals and Bills going down there as well. All right, real quick, just run through some other games that are going on. Maybe an equally as awful game, the Titans at the Browns. Okay.
Let me tell you why that's not awesome. By the way, it's definitely going to be ugly. But the intrigue, you got subplots to this thing. There's layers to this. First of all, if Cleveland wins, it's not going to be because of Shador. It's going to be because of Myles Garrett.
Well, yeah.
We already know the defense is superior. Tennessee doesn't have a defense.
Tennessee.
But you got Cam Ward and Shador. They're both really good friends.
Yeah.
Cam Ward was the number 1 pick in the draft. And here's...
People thought Shador was going to be number 2.
Right. And Shador, all the way, was a 5th-round pick?
Yeah.
Like that. Bottom line is, will those two outplay each other at all? Myles Garrett's going to have to say so. I bet he gets 2 sacks.
No, Myles Garrett's going to kill Cam Ward today, and I say that tongue in cheek, and I don't mean that. I don't mean that theoretically. I don't mean that literally, but I mean I think it's going to be a long day for Cam Ward.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, look, would we be surprised if he broke the sack record today?
No.
He's only 3.5 off.
Exactly.
So
he can easily do that. And by the way, Myles Garrett and Shador both grew up in Dallas-Fort Worth.
Yeah. So,
Myles in Arlington and Shador in Cedar Hill.
So we'll see how that whole thing plays out. But, yeah, that's going to be one of those games where I don't think anybody outside of Nashville and Cleveland is going to have to force themselves through that game. So you're a true degenerate if you're watching that game for any other reason besides being a Titans or Browns fan. Another craptastic game, and this is where the NFL – this is where, look, we all love parity and it's good for the sport, yada, yada. But, you've got 3 games today in a row at noon. Titans, Browns, terrible. Commanders, Vikings, terrible.
Terrible, Kenny, terrible.
And look, I like the Commanders. I like Jaden Daniels. He's had a very rough year this year.
Yeah.
He's gotten the crap beat out of him. This is a team that, for as much of a feel-good story as they were last year, and a lot of people were predicting, like, hey, I could see them taking a step back. I don't know that anybody people...
They won too many games at the last minute last year.
Well, they had a lot of games that they won at the last minute, and then, of course, the thing about the National Football League, and I was listening to... As I was driving home from Funky Town last night, listening to our boy Jody Mack, and I can't think of who the guest he had on last night, but the guy was talking about, when you look at certain teams and their schedule, like, and this is one other thing, and just a quick aside, see, and Chris, you know this, and Trevor, you know this, and I'm sure half of our fatties and Tolos out there know this, but, the NFL kind of bases your schedule the next year on what you did the year before, right?
Exactly.
So if you were crap the year before, guess what? You're going to play another crap schedule the next year because they want to try to bring you back up. He made a great point. Again, I can't think of who the guest was, about how the one thing he goes, we don't take into consideration when we talk about the Chiefs and the Eagles enough is look at their schedule this year. Like they've played
tough guys,
the best of the best.
The best of the best.
And then you've had, like a Cowboys team that got better this year, right? Now, yeah, you've had a few, the Giant, because you do play your divisions, right? And obviously the NFC East and the AFC West played this year, and, the Cowboys were probably better than I think people expected them to be. We know what the Eagles were, but, the Commanders were a step back, or probably 2 steps back from a year ago. The Giants are still a disaster. So, but again, as he pointed out, but Commanders played a soft schedule last year. All right, well, guess what? Not the case this year.
Big boys this year.
You had to play real people this year.
You go to the NFC Championship game, you get a tougher schedule.
You get to play a tougher schedule, and as a result of that, and plus, you're not sneaking up on anybody.
No, they got tape on you.
Nobody cares about Sam Howell. All right, we ain't worried about Sam Howell. Jaden Daniels, that's a problem. Now, the problem with Jaden Daniels is he keeps getting hurt.
Yeah, he's kind of thin.
Okay, and I'm gonna tell you right now, the whole mom thing, that needs to stop. Okay, I don't need my mom trying to tell me how to run my life and how to get in the middle of my love life and all that kind of stuff.
Why does she remind me of Allen Iverson's mom?
Oh, well, I don't know, because have you watched that Iverson? Did you watch that Iverson documentary on Prime?
No, I haven't seen it yet. I did see the Diddy one though. All 4 episodes.
I haven't watched the Diddy one yet.
It's the #1 documentary. 50 Cent produced it.
Well, I saw that. This
is what 50 did. I'm be succinct. We're not going to go into the documentary.
Okay.
But it's the #1 documentary in the world.
It is.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah.
Diddy, his fingerprints on too many things.
A lot more things than people realize.
And the thing that 50 was able to get was access to this video. Sean Diddy Combs, his ego is so big, he videotaped the whole week before he got arrested because he thought he was getting off. So, he wanted whole document. He was like, he had a videographer.
He was ready to do his own documentary.
So somehow 50 Cent got a hold of the footage.
Man.
Once they arrested him, he couldn't get the footage.
Don't sleep on Curtis Jackson.
So just know you're watching Diddy plot up stuff before it gets, and you're like, what?
Is it worth watching?
Yes.
Okay.
Because it's not raggedy. It's not one of those, they do this and it's like they just slap together stuff that you've seen in the. No, this has got new stuff that nobody ever seen before or heard before.
Real quick, Bomani Jones said this week on his show that one of the problems he has with Netflix is, they've gone on this documentary kick, right?
Yeah.
They're making documentaries all over the place. But he said part of the problem with what Netflix is doing, though, is that they insist that the person that they're doing the documentary on is involved as well.
By the way, 50 said on one of those news station interviews, because they were talking to him about the number one, he said, only thing I wish is that Diddy had cooperated and been a part of it. Everybody else is on there. And everybody else is talking.
He says that, but Bomani Jones made a great point. Aren't most documentaries better when the person isn't involved?
Yes, because then they won't put their spin on it.
Because they won't put their spin on it.
I'm with you.
The one thing I'll say about The Last Dance, and look, I'm a Michael Jordan guy. I will be an MJ guy till the end. If you've listened to this show if you've ever listened to me and Blake go at it, you know where I stand on my boy MJ. When you watch The Last Dance, because I've watched it a couple different times. First time it was during the pandemic. We just wanted something. We just needed sports. We needed
every
anything.
Day,
okay,
we saw a little chunk.
When you watch it again, you can definitely tell where Michael had his creative influence on it.
He's looking at the tablet. I took that personally.
Yeah, he took that personally. That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Can you imagine Diddy in this video?
Oh, and it would have been as good. Because look, do we think there's more grit and grime to MJ's career than what we saw in The Last Dance? Of course there was. Okay.
So check this out. You don't see Diddy trying to camouflage anything because they've got the people who actually lived.
Yeah.
And then they talk about it on the last, there's 4 segments of it.
Yeah.
They talk about the last one, they say, you see the pattern of how he always got away with stuff.
Yeah.
And then they talked about Tupac, and they talked about
That's what my sister
Biggie,
said.
and they talked, and all the fingerprints.
Leading back to Diddy.
Uh-huh.
That's
it's like, whoa.
Diabolical.
Very diabolical.
Sean Combs. And then, of course, as a lot of people have said on the tweets and what have you, if you've ever seen the Dave Chappelle show, his Diddy skit looks a little more realistic. Dylon. I spit hot fire, man. All right, final segment of this hour coming up next. Let's tell you what. Let's talk some high school football. I'll tell you what, it's like we're already 4 weeks into the Texas high school football playoff season, and DFW is being represented. Plus,
that's right. Yeah, we want you to text in what you think we need to shout you out for. 877-881-1053, Franklin.
Take the HOV lane of the Fans Commercial-Free Expressway and have some fun with Sean and RJ at 7:40 a.m. No tolls required because it's driven by Mercedes-Benz of Plano, a first-class buying experience. Visit mbplano.com.
Hello, it's Pete Thompson from the Consumer Team. It's that time of year. Cold temps can blow in anytime. And if you're dealing with a furnace issue or a breakdown, I recommend you call the On-Time Experts. They'll be at your home same day, or the service and diagnostic fee is free. And their number one goal is to get you up and running and warm again and help you avoid a future breakdown. Go to theontimeexperts.com and set your appointment time today. Theontimeexperts.com, the choice of the Consumer Team.
Is your financial advisor offering you up to a 30% upfront bonus? Or are they promising you up to 10% growth per year, all for your retirement income? If not, then you need to come to Trajan Wealth. I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. If you have a plan to retire within the next 10 years, don't wait only to find out it's too late. I've seen hardworking folks like you retire only to be required to go back to work, all because their advisor told them guarantees like these were too good to be true. They're not. That's up to $30,000 upfront or up to $10,000 per year on $100,000, all guaranteed for retirement income. Don't keep working when you're supposed to be retired, and don't let any financial advisor tell you it's too good to be true. Call Trajan today, 469-579-3500. That's 469-579-3500.
Annuities, not advisory products. DBA Trajan Wealth Insurance Solutions. Additional disclosures at trajanwealth.com.
It's the holiday season, the best time of year for sports, bowl games, basketball matchups, playoff pushes, and it's all happening at once. And while you and I are out here making decisions every day, what gifts to buy, what to eat, which games to watch, there's one place where it feels good to be right. That's Prize Picks. And Prize Picks now has early payouts. If your lineup gets off to a hot start, you may now have the option to cash out those winnings before the games even finish. So super simple. You're just going to pick more or less on, say, Cooper Flag, points, rebounds, assists, more or less on the CeeDee Lamb or George Pickens receiving yards. How about more or less Miko Ranton in shots on goal? Every single sport, all options for you, and you can mix and match in Tolos. Download the Prize Picks app now. Use code TOLO, T-O-L-O, to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code TOLO to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for details.
Buyers Barricades is a full-service traffic control provider, taking care of your project from the evaluation and planning to setting up, maintaining, and taking down the equipment when the project is complete. The Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Tune in Monday mornings to the Fans Post-Game Analysis with Sean and RJ's Star Up, Star Down, presented by Johnson Fitness and Wellness, with the finest in-home exercise equipment for your up and down exercising. Star Up, Star Down, Monday mornings on The Fan.
If you're drowning in IRS debt and can't afford to pay, then you need to take advantage of special IRS tax programs that are available and free yourself from IRS collection efforts once and for all. Due to the financial hardship consumers are facing throughout the country, the Internal Revenue Service has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Take down this number or store it in your cell phone, but call the Community Tax Helpline at 800-269-3454. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back, or even if you have years of unfiled tax returns, there's no need to fear anymore. But you have to call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-269-3454 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-269-3454 for your free consultation and to see if you qualify. That's 800-269-3454.
Feeling stuck on your own 10-yard line in the career game? Maybe it's time to just go for IT. My Computer Career has the game plan to score a rewarding new IT career in months. Whether you're a rookie, a breakout career changer, or a military veteran ready to serve. Why spend years chasing a college degree when you can fast-track your future in IT starting now? Take your mark, get set, go for IT. Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu today. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Hey, Tolos, RJ Choppy here for good friends over at Zerez. The holidays are here. It's time to get ready for friends and family, and what better way to do that than with Zerez, just like we did just before Thanksgiving. Carpets, air ducts, hardwood, tile, grout, upholstery, rugs, stone. They can handle it all at Zerez, 214-37-CLEAN. Ask for the RJ Choppy Fan Special, 3 rooms, pre-treated, clean, and sanitized for $109 and $75 off your air duct cleaning. Spots are filling. Happy holidays from us at Zerez, 214-37-CLEAN or ZerezDallas.com.
Get your fresh Stars content with the #1 Stars podcast, Spits and Suds, presented by the On-Time Experts, keeping Stars fans comfortable all season long. Check out the latest Spits and Suds episode wherever your favorite podcasts are found.
This segment of 105.3 The Fan is brought to you by Classic Chevrolet. If you're in the market to upgrade your vehicle, get to Classic Chevrolet in Grapevine. Back-to-back #1 Chevy dealership in the world. They got more new Chevys than anyone, all priced to sell. Visit ClassicChevrolet.com. This is Texas. This is Classic Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. Based on new Chevy registrations 2023 and 2024.
Welcome back in. It is the 105.3 The Fan on a Sunday morning. Fred Davis, a 3-time Hall of Famer, Chris Arnold.
Got you down.
Trevor, the creator, in the glass. And again, let's just let everybody know. Bengals and Bills at, the game's at noon. 11:30 is when CA and I will bid adieu. And then, of course, you got the Bears and the Green Bay Packers this afternoon, and of course that'll be must-watch football, as we all know. So real quick, let's take a look at scores from over the weekend. And Texas high school football is in full effect.
Did you say North Texas is representing?
Hey, let me tell you something. You already know North Texas is representing. Let's just take a quick look at it from the games over this weekend. On Friday, you had Allen. They upended North Crowley 33-21. Allen has been one of the best teams in the, not just the state of Texas, but they've been one of the best teams in the state all year, in the country all year long. Had a kind of interesting start against Louisville. Needed a last kind of a turnover on the last possession, but I'll tell you what, all they've done is take care of business since then. Again, they win 33-21, so they will move on to the the state semifinal.
Yes, and guess who they're going to face? It'll be Duncanville, because Duncanville got by Waxahachie. Remember, Waxahachie beat Duncanville, shocked them in the regular season. They had a head-to-head matchup, and this time Duncanville survived, and Duncanville is going to take on Allen. The winner goes to AT&T Stadium.
Okay. And then a lot of these games are, okay, so we got a handful of, okay, so you said Allen and Duncanville. That game goes down, and that game will be played next Saturday, just for a heads up on that one. Then you've got Vandegrift and C.E. King. Now, Austin Vandegrift, they are the defending state champion 6AD2 from a year ago. They're playing C.E. King, who beat Summer Creek. I had a chance to talk to both these coaches this year, very well-coached teams. And look, I'm not telling you anything you don't already know, CA. These coaches that when you're getting to this level, when you're at this stage of the game, like these guys are all the best of the best, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's hard to be a Cinderella in Texas high school football.
It really is. And we get Tolos texting in 877-881-1053. We're asking everybody who saw some high school football or actually had some skin in the game, maybe some family playing some football. We can shout y'all out right now.
Absolutely.
940 says, CA and Fred, shout out to my grandson, Clayton Cunningham, number 13, caught a 71-yard touchdown.
Love it.
In 3A Regional in Wichita Falls. Munster Hornets beat Lindsay Knights in the play-in. They're going to play Canyon Creek coming up next week. There you go.
And then you've
That's
got...
the Thackerville mayor.
Now, South Lake Carroll.
Oh, man.
Do you have who they're playing next?
No, not yet.
Okay, hold on. We'll find
just a minute. I thought you were going to say South Oak Cliff. Can I tell you that real quick?
Well, I already go for it because I already know.
Okay. Shut out.
Yeah, they did.
Port Neches Grove, 28-0. And they're going to go. They're going for the fifth straight year in a row. They advanced to the state semifinals. It's going to be something strong.
And they're playing Melissa.
Yes, they
edged out Argyle.
Yes.
All right. So
Melissa's
again,
back.
a DFW, another game with DFW ties to it. And again, you will have. I mean, look, DFW will be represented in the state championship.
Let me tell y'all something. Melissa, for people say, where is Melissa? I went up there about a month ago. The Whataburger High School football coach of the week was Melissa's coach.
Yeah.
That's a damn university. That thing is brand spanking new.
Okay.
And it's just north of Allen. It's on the way to Durant, Oklahoma, if you go up to Choctaw. That's what I'm just saying. It's up that way.
Yeah.
I'm like, look at this.
No, that's...
Melissa.
Now, I was going to say, isn't that a Joe Cocker song? Sweet Melissa?
I don't know.
That could be.
Maybe.
877-881-1053. Tell you what, 4AD1.
Came in through the bathroom window.
Tell you what, 4AD1, Salina versus Stephenville. That will be, and I think whoever wins that game is going to be the state champion in that from that deal. Carthage, shout out to our boy Tim. Carthage is kicking butt, taking names. They put a absolute beat down on their opponent this weekend. As I think it was Athens. I think it beat like 63-21, something crazy like that. But they'll be playing Brock next Friday as well for, as you alluded to, a trip to Jerry World.
You were mentioning South Lake Carroll.
Yes.
They won. And their next game is DeSoto. South Lake is 14-0.
Is that who that is?
Yes.
Oh!
DeSoto is 11-3. South Lake is 14-0. And Will Chambers likes to claim that the quarterback for South Lake Carroll is his cousin.
Okay, now when you say likes to claim, that suggests to me that there might be some, you may be suggesting that maybe there might be some uncertainty there.
Well, he never knew until Somebody told him, and his mother told him, and it turns out it's not like direct cousin. You know, you can have like a cousin
So
from the
this
cousin.
is more like a play cousin is what you're
Well,
telling me.
no, he's for real. They're blood, but it's like he never met him. But at the same time, Will's in his 40s, and this kid's like 17.
17, 18,
And
exactly.
So the point is, it's not like his mother's sister's son.
This is like a second cousin type deal then?
Third, fourth, fifth, maybe something like that. But they kinfolk. And Will gonna claim because this guy's a winner.
You absolutely should. You absolutely should.
And I'm not mad at you, Will.
No, not one bit. Sweet Willie C, you know what time it is. Shout out to our boy. I know he's feeling geeked right now. Although I'll tell you what Will's not feeling geeked about.
What?
Kentucky basketball.
No.
Will's about to go through this year with Kentucky basketball what I went through the last 2 years with KU basketball.
Right.
They got their doors blown off by Gonzaga a couple nights ago, and then apparently, and I don't know, I got to look into this, and we'll let Sweet Willie tell us. Apparently, Mark Pope, the head coach for Kentucky, got into it with some reporters in the in the press conference afterwards. So, Sweet Willie, look, man, I get it. It's rough. It's hard out there for a pimp, especially when you've been dominating the way they have. So, all right. We'll find out. So is that game, do you know when that game is, that South Lake Carroll DeSoto game?
I'm getting ready. Yeah, I do. It is going to be on
Friday or Saturday?
Getting ready to tell you right now, it's buffering.
Because I tell you what, I would love to go to that game.
Yeah, hang on a second here.
It's coming. All right.
South Lake and Melissa's going to be Friday at the Cotton Bowl.
Okay.
And the DeSoto game will be...
My guess is going to be Saturday.
It says to be determined.
Okay.
It says to be determined.
I wondered about that because I'm looking at Dave Campbell, and they don't have that game listed yet.
It's not
South
listed
Lake
yet.
Carroll and DeSoto.
They're trying to find a stadium.
I was going to say, they're probably trying to find a venue.
A big one because that place is going to be
hey, I'm
packed.
going to tell you right now, if I'm
sold out.
If I tell you what, honestly, I hope it's on a Saturday because that way, because I want to say I'm on air from like noon to 2:30 or something like that. I'd love to go watch South Lake Carroll and DeSoto because that's going to be a slobber knocker for those of you scoring at home.
By the way, Frisco Lone Star, they're going to be playing.
Yeah, they beat Highland Park.
They beat Highland Park.
And you know what? And shout out to Highland Park. Frisco Lone Star is going to be playing Aledo. That game's on Friday.
Yep, in Mansfield.
And that's in Mansfield? I had a feeling Frisco Lone Star, the thing that worried me about Highland Park was their defense. Right, and I want to say they gave up a 51-burger to Frisco Lone Star. So, the nice thing is DFW will be well represented as they are each and every year.
Salina is going to take on Stephenville Friday at Eagle Mountain
Tell you what,
Stadium.
That's going to be a hell of a game, too.
Rock's taking on Carthage. Tim from Carthage, Fortuno versus Fortuno. That's going to be in Mesquite at Memorial Stadium.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then shout out to all my West Orange Stark, all my Fruit City people out there. You guys know who you are. They're going to be playing Sinton. I want to say the Sinton's the Pirates. We talked to their coach a year or so ago for the Mythical High School football show. So, again, another great Shiner in 2AD2. They're going to be playing Mount Enterprise, Gunter and Wall. That'll be a good game. That's in 3AD2. And then Yoakum and Lano over in 3AD1, and Grandview and Peaster. And then last but certainly not least, Kilgore and Lavernia will match up, and of course the winner of that will play the Salina and Stephenville winner. So
nothing like Friday Night Lights, man.
Nothing like it. And, of course, I know there's a couple of games that they're waiting to kind of TBD as far as that goes. So, again, another great weekend of high school sports, another great weekend of DFW high school football teams representing and, well on their way to representing the DFW in the state championship game. Also, and I'll tell you what, shout out to Duncanville. By the way, 'cause I'm going to tell you right now, first of all, we already know what their football team's about. Their basketball team is nationally ranked as well. One of the few, and again, with these, whether
6'7",
it's on
6'7".
3, boy, you ain't lying about that.
I'm looking at your hands.
But when it comes to, because with football hasn't quite been taken over yet by the prep school dominance that you see in basketball, right? Like when you look at a top 25 for, now don't get me wrong, IMG is still one of the, it's a factory essentially. But when you look at like top 25 rankings for high school basketball teams, it's basically 20 of them are prep schools where that's all these guys do. And then you get a few actual schools sprinkled in. Duncanville is one of the few actual legit high schools that is nationally ranked. And I'll tell you what, them boys, I saw a couple posts from them over the weekend. I might have to get me out to a Duncanville high school basketball game because these boys, can we get a birth certificate check for some of these kids? My God.
Stop.
Seriously,
They got in trouble a
They're
couple
Lob
years
City
ago.
over there, man.
They got
These
in
boys are
trouble a
over
couple
here.
years ago.
Hey,
Anthony Black's playing for Orlando Magic, and he showed up at Duncanville and they won the state, and coach got suspended. It's crazy.
Yeah, I get it, man.
Don't ask too many questions.
Yeah, don't ask, don't
you
tell.
said birth certificates.
Shout out to Bill Clinton. All right. 2 segments left. Don't go anywhere. He's Chris Arnold, a 3-time Hall of Famer. I'm Fred Davis. We got our boy Trevor, the creator behind the glass, on the 1s, 2s, and 3s. 2 more segments. Don't go anywhere. It's 105 through the Fan.
Tolo means turn it on and leave it on. Thank you for making 105.3 The Fan and the Odyssey app part of your day every day.
This December, Window Nation puts an end to your window problems. You'll save big too, with 50% off all window styles. Plus, you could get 0 interest for 5 years. Hurry, this sale ends soon, so schedule your free estimate right now at windownation.com. That's windownation.com.
Yardbird Southern Table and Bar. Dive into succulent, mouthwatering Southern comfort fried chicken like no other. Creamy lobster mac and cheese, juicy ribs like Mom used to make, and top it off with a warm cinnamon roll. Plates to feed the entire table or for your own personal escape. And dive into one of the best and unique bourbon selections and handcrafted scratch cocktails to wash it all down. Got your attention yet? Yardbird Southern Table and Bar. Located across from Clyde Warren Park at 2121 North Pearl Street in Dallas. RunChickenRun.com. This February, tennis comes to Texas. Ben Shelton, Taylor Fritz, Casper Ruud, and just announced, Grigor Dimitrov. The world's best players step onto center court at the Ford Center at the Star for 9 days of nonstop action at the 2026 Dallas Open, February 7th through 15th. Every serve, every ace, every moment, the stars shine brighter in Texas. Get your tickets now at DallasOpen.com. That's DallasOpen.com.
If you're one of the millions of Americans behind on your taxes, if you're afraid to open your mail because IRS collection letters could be coming, listen carefully. The IRS is cracking down, taking paychecks, freezing bank accounts, revoking passports. That's a fact. But here's what most people don't know. There are official tax relief programs designed to help struggling taxpayers. Programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief. Optima's award-winning team will fight to protect your paycheck, your passport, and your property. Their tax attorneys and licensed tax professionals will work tirelessly to get you the best deal possible with the IRS. Every day, penalties and interest keep piling up, so don't wait. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-809-5833. 800-809-5833. 800-809-5833.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Ace the holidays at Whole Foods Market. Build your holiday spread, from easy appetizers to impressive mains and limited-time desserts, all with strict ingredient standards. Shop Whole Foods Market, your holiday headquarters.
Every now and then I rinse it out, and I need Downy Rinse tonight, and I need it more. My kids must have been, and the smell never leaves. I don't know what to do, I'm always in the dark. The sweat and that short smells like a dog park. Downy Rinse it tonight.
Downy Rinse fights stubborn odors in just one wash. When impossible odors get stuck in,
Rinse it out.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. Do you feel stupid for buying a timeshare? Don't. It's not your fault. You were most likely told you could rent it, and it was a great financial investment. And the deal was available today only. If this happened to you, contact your resort or Wesley Financial Group for help today.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-242-3131. 800-242-3131.
Fast breaks, buzzer beaters, and block parties are back. And however you like to get in on the action, you can do it on Underdog right now in Texas. This season, you can make team picks and player picks. Just download the app, sign up, and you'll get $100 in bonus entries when you make your first $5 fantasy entry. Using Underdog is easy. Just pick whether your favorite team will win or if your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like points, rebounds, steals, and more. Plus, with Underdog's quick payouts, you can get your profits fast. So download the app today. Use the promo code TOLO. Score $100 in bonus entries when you make your first $5 fantasy entry. Player picks, team picks, all on Underdog.
Crypto.com predictions powered by Underdog Predict. Trading derivatives involves risk and may not be appropriate for all. For more information, visit nadex.com/rules and underdogfantasy.com/rules. For Crypto.com predictions, the term pick refers to a product traded on CDNA. Must be 18 plus and present in Texas. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms_DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
Your turn it on, leave it on. Home of America's team is 105.3 The Fan. Tolo, baby. KRLD-FM and HD1, Dallas-Fort Worth.
An Odyssey sports station. Driven by our D&M Leasing Studios. Thanks for turning it on and leaving it on. 105.3 The Fan.
Final 2 segments of the program. That is the 3-time Hall of Famer Chris Arnold.
Got you down.
I'm Fred Davis. We got our boy Trevor the Creator in the mix. Trevor, you're done here. When Chris and I are wrapping this thing up at 11:30, and then we're going to go about our Sundays. What does Trevor the Creator have on tap for the rest of his afternoon?
Well, Trevor's going to be here till 1 because he's got to make sure the 1s and 2s are playing said game. That
What are these games? For those who missed it?
What do we move? Bengals at Bills, right?
Yes, sir.
We moved it
At
and
noon.
Then I don't remember.
Green Bay and Chicago. That's the afternoon game, 3 o'clock game. Yeah.
That memory's not what it used to be, huh?
Right here on 105.
It's not. It really is not. It genuinely is not.
And you're what, 35?
You know what? We don't have to go into it, Fred.
Wow.
We don't have to go into it.
Wow.
I got a lot of buttons I got to push
I worry
here,
for
okay?
you. I worry for you.
I worry for myself. Are you kidding me? Good Lord. I am going to watch the Stars tonight, though. So I will be watching the Stars tonight.
So you tell me how because my Chiefs are in a must-win game. And that's putting them mildly.
They need the chaos, too, like the Cowboys.
That's what I'm saying.
The Chiefs, well, the AFC is a little bit different, right? The wild card teams in the AFC don't have quite the lead on the Chiefs that the wild card teams in the NFC have over the Dallas Cowboys. So, it's one of them situations where the Chiefs are still playing for a wild card. Like they've lost the division's over.
Yeah.
The 9-year run of them kicking ass, taking names in the AFC West, that's done. Denver's going to win that more than likely. And but if the Chiefs win out, they have like a 90% chance of making the playoffs.
Okay, unlike the Cowboys.
If they win out. Unlike the Cowboys who need all sort of things to happen.
They have to have, the simplest way is they have to have the Eagles just free fall. If the Eagles lose a couple of games, we're talking about the Chargers and the Bills for
Which
sure.
Which isn't out of the realm of possibility.
It's not impossible. We've seen this team do this before. But the Cowboys still have to win out, but they're scheduled a little bit easier than the Eagles. Put it like this. They got to beat Minnesota. They got to beat the Chargers, but then they go ahead and play the Giants again, play Washington again. They should handle up those teams. Dak always beats those teams. But let me say this about the Cowboys again. They have both teams need chaos to happen.
They do.
They cannot control their own destiny. So what you're going to look at, does Shoddy keep these guys focused enough, which I think he can. You've seen this through who would have thought the gauntlet, which was 4 games in 18 days, that they go 3-1.
Yeah. No, I mean,
nobody thought they could pull that off. They're 6-6-1 right now.
And that's where when you have those losses to the Cardinals, to the
Bears
Carolina
at the time.
Panthers, the Bears who were defeated at the time, like that it's just
the Bears got good.
Sticks in your craw. Real quick from the 979, we were mentioning Duncanville. Duncanville has probably the 2 best 8th graders in the area. One kid has A&M offered.
8th grade.
Another kid, and I've seen the clips of that. I think it's like Keller Middle School or Kellemer or something like that. I'll let you guys tell me because I'm over in Louisville. They've got another 6'7" kid hitting windmills, between the leg dunks. Air Jackson and DJ Parker, search them up, future NBA type guys. No, I've seen those guys as clips. I mean, it's freakish what these kids are doing. They'll look good in Kansas uniforms. Okay, I'm just saying that right now. You ain't going. I'm gonna tell you right now, and with all due respect, and look, I know this isn't a football conversation, but let's be real for a second. If you're trying to play college basketball, you're going to KU before you go to Texas A&M. So let's get that out of the way real quick.
By the way, that school you're talking about, that middle school, I think it's called Keenamere.
Maybe that's what. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and the 214 says Duncanville is the city of champions. Go look at the highlights from Keenamere, and I said,
man. Hey, shout out to Duncanville. Well, let me tell you what love for them boys.
Let me tell you what the deal is. I went to a city council meeting up there years ago.
Yeah.
Because I knew that Duncanville was like, man, it's the only high school, and there's a lot of people in that town, right?
Yeah.
Just the only high school. I'm like, Plano's got a couple. Frisco's got 14. I'm like, how does Duncanville only have one? I go to the city council meeting. Has nothing to do with sports. I'm just there. Somebody wanted me to go see this thing. And I asked one of the council members, I said, how come your city this big has only one high school? Even though y'all keep it up, it's got one. They said sports.
Yeah.
I said, sports? Yeah.
We ain't trying to split that up.
They try to split that up.
Looking
They
at
want to
you,
win
Alan.
titles. So therefore, if you're in grade school and if you're not that good, think about it. It's not like Frisco.
You may want to transfer.
You got to transfer.
You may
Find you an apartment somewhere. You might have to
get you an auntie that lives over in Garland or something.
You might have to do what Kyler Murray did when he left Louisville to Allen. Anthony Black, what he did when he showed up in Duncanville. I'm just keeping it real.
You know, and this is from the 940, and it's a great point. He says the break point in 6A for large schools is an enrollment of 2,500. So a school with a 2,501 enrollment has to compete with schools like Allen and Duncan with an enrollment of 4,600 to 5,500. That's double the number of athletes to choose from. So, you know, there's definitely something to be said for that. Like, you almost wonder, okay, do we need to start you know, with the D1 and the D2s of the world, especially in the 6A, from a 6A standpoint, you know, maybe do we bump it up to 3,000?
Yeah.
You know, just something to think about, you know, and that's why you got South Lake Carroll playing DeSoto.
Let me get this just in, because over there, just north of DFW Airport, Grapevine, the powers that be, the committee, the college football committee.
Congregating as we speak.
They're congregating as we speak. And we will keep you updated when we find out the final breakdown of who's in and who's out of these 12 playoff spots. In the meantime, I have the projection. See, when I said when we find out, because you know they're going to turn this into a dog and pony show. You probably won't know until these last 4 spots until
they're going to do it right before noon kickoff.
Yeah, before noon kickoff. So here we go. This is what the projections are as they stand in college football. The projections. We'll see if the committee gets it right. The first round buys would be Indiana, the Big Ten champ. Ohio State, still number 2. Number 3, Georgia, the SEC champ. And number 4, Texas Tech, the Big 12 champ. They will get first-round buys.
Yeah.
The second,
I do think Georgia jumps Ohio State, though.
Yeah, very possible, very possible. The first-round games on campus, December 19th and 20th. James Madison would host Oregon. Tulane would host Ole Miss.
Did you say James Madison would host Oregon?
Sun Belt champ. Oregon didn't win the Big Ten.
No, they didn't.
Tulane, the American champ, would host Ole Miss. Talk about a battle of LSU.
Coaches leaving.
Louisiana versus Mississippi.
Seriously.
Auburn would go to Texas A&M. And Notre Dame would go to OU. That would be the first round games hosted on campus.
So does that have Alabama getting? Did you say Alabama?
Alabama in.
Okay, and who they playing?
They would play A&M.
Okay,
and Notre Dame would be in, taking on Oklahoma. That means that Miami is out, and nobody in the ACC is in. Not Duke, not Miami, not nobody. And it also means that UT is not in at all. And by the way, the quarterfinal games, those will be those bowl games. You know, Cotton Bowl's going to host one.
Shouldn't have lost to Florida. I get the whole Ohio State argument, but you can't lose to Florida. So sorry.
Exactly. Yeah. So like I said, these bowl matchups.
Yeah.
Texas Tech's going to play the winner of Oregon versus James Madison. Georgia's going to take on the winner of Ole Miss. Tulane, Ohio State would take on the winner of Alabama A&M, and Indiana would take on the winner of Notre Dame OU.
Don't sleep on Indiana right now. I'm telling you, boy. Curt Cignetti.
Yeah, for real.
And I'm sitting there.
That 31-yard bomb when they had to run out the clock
to
get the first down. Who would have thought that? Any other conservative coach would have just ran the ball.
Yeah,
and he said, no, we're going to roll this dice.
Cignetti, here he has, and I don't know how many times I was listening to it last night on the radio driving over to Funkytown, and they said, Indiana's one of the losingest programs. I think the second or worst losingest program in college football history. And here you got Curt Cignetti, number 1 overall seed when it's going to be all said and done for the Big Ten. And here my Jayhawks are, and Lance Leipold. We can't even. We can't even win a fourth quarter game.
Yep, I understand. Hey, real quick, Tolo's texting this. I accidentally said Auburn. I meant Alabama. I said Auburn,
you know what you meant.
You know what I'm talking about. Alabama. Alabama. They have them projected to be. We're going to find out.
They're going to make it.
You'll find out at the end of the show. They're not this show, but end of that show on TV. Because they're going to drag it out.
I'm telling you right now, Alabama's going to make it because the problem, if you cannot nullify the conference championships.
Too much money.
Okay, there's too much money involved. There's too much TV
You're
involved.
already getting rid of the bowls.
Exactly. All right, and they're going to try to extend things. You still need it. And as Carter alluded to earlier in the show, might they tweak how they do the conference championship? Perhaps, but you're not getting rid. Alabama's making it, so calm down. Do they deserve it? Who knows, but they'll be there. That's Chris. I'm Fred. That's Trevor. Final segment of the program. Don't go anywhere.
Hi there, it's Pete Thompson from the Consumer Team. If you're being told by an HVAC company that you need to replace your home's furnace, pump the brakes and don't get ripped off. Call the On-Time Experts for a free second opinion. They'll tell you the truth and not just try to sell you a furnace you may not need. Their focus is fixing your furnace and getting you warm again. Plus, you'll get a stay warm guarantee for the rest of the winter. Book your appointment online right now at theontimeexperts.com. Theontimeexperts.com. The On-Time Experts, the official HVAC partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Gear up for your thermal hunting season with Shields Hunting Sale now through December 14th. Save up to $1,000 on Pulsar thermal optics. Save up to $400 on Vortex and Leupold optics. Save on the top brands in ammo and get a Shields gift card with your purchase of select Fox Pro electronic calls. Call in these savings and maximize your time in the field now through December 14th at Shields and Shields.com.
This holiday season, the biggest gifts aren't under the tree. They're at Choctaw Casino and Resort Durant. We're giving away a car every day of the week during the 25 Cars of Christmas giveaway, December 1st through the 25th. Play with your Rewards Club card and you could ride away a winner with your share of $2 million in cash and cars. It's beginning to look a lot like winning at Choctaw Casino and Resort Durant.
I love to cook for the holidays, and I love the way the house smells, and no better smell than a beautiful steak cooking on the grill. And right now, you can gift the family and friends USDA certified tender steaks, juicy burgers, cozy and convenient comfort meals, and so much more. During their Sizzle All the Way sale, you can get 50% off site-wide at omahasteaks.com. Plus, our listeners get an extra $35 off with promo code Corey at checkout. Right now is the perfect time to save on delicious gifts and holiday hosting favorites. Every steak is perfectly aged to maximize tenderness and hand-cut by master butchers in America's heartland. Grass-fed, grain-finished beef has more marbling for exceptional flavor and is the choice of steakhouses and professional chefs around the world. Save big on gourmet gifts and more holiday favorites with Omaha Steaks. Visit omahasteaks.com for 50% off site-wide during their Sizzle All the Way sale. And for an extra $35 off, use promo code Corey, C-O-R-Y, at checkout. Terms apply. See site for details. That's omahasteaks.com. Promo code Corey.
Welcome back to Winter Hack Radio, the place for clever hacks to survive the season. Icy driveway? Well, try spreading sand or birdseed to help with traction. Snowy puppy paws? Well, grab a whisk, brush it off, done. Catch COVID-19? Well, just get...
Actually, there's no hack for COVID-19. But if you test positive, prescription medications for COVID exist. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This is the story of the one. As an HVAC technician, he and his digital multimeter are in high demand. So when a noisy office HVAC turns out to be a failing blower motor, he doesn't break a sweat. With Grainger's easy-to-use website and product information, he selects the product he needs to keep everything humming right along. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
250 years ago, a promise was made to connect families and friends near and far. And during the holidays, that promise is more important than ever. That's why USPS is building a better network to meet your needs with timely deliveries, easy and affordable ways to ship, and everything you need to make your season full of holiday cheer. Our purpose is delivering your peace of mind, knowing your love will arrive, bringing joy to all. The United States Postal Service. Learn more at USPS.com/holidays.
There are only about 4,300 publicly traded companies on the U.S. Stock Exchange.
But there are an estimated 33 million companies in the U.S. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. The average investor is missing out on over 99% of the investment opportunity that's happening in this beautiful country until now. True portfolio strength is found beyond the confines of the S&P 500, investing in promising companies before they go public. Private real estate, infrastructure, world-changing technologies. This is called the endowment model. The endowment model has historically outperformed the traditional model of just stocks and bonds. If you're an accredited investor and want more from your investments, it's time to think beyond just stocks and bonds. Call Trajan today, 469-579-3500. That's 469-579-3500.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. See website for details.
This final segment on 105.3 The Fan is brought to you by the Frankels. If you've been injured in a car or truck wreck, call Frankel first. 214-817-333-3333. With Frankel & Frankel, there's never an out-of-pocket cost, and they only get paid when you win. Frankel & Frankel, the go-to car truck wreck attorneys in Dallas.
Thank you, Trevor the Creator. We got a handful of minutes left. We've got the selection show on, and of course, nothing yet to report. Correct?
No, they just showing off the war room. They're
it.
dragging this thing out like we knew they would. And by the way, we will update you if we get out of here in the next 5 minutes. 10 minutes, whatever.
7 minutes.
7 minutes. We will give you whatever team they happen to show up in the first round bye category. And by the way, those projections I was reading last segment, those were from ESPN, which is hosting this thing.
Yeah.
These are projections. We're talking about what could happen. By the way, I got a theoretical for you, Fred.
Sure.
Who's got a greater chance of getting in the playoff? UT or the Dallas Cowboys in the NFL playoff? 877-81-105.
That's a great question. That is a great question.
I think the Cowboys have a better chance.
I was going to say I'll go with the Cowboys only because, as you alluded to earlier in the show, the Texas just has too much work they would have to do to jump too many different teams in order to do it. Like they were 13th in the most recent projection or the most recent rankings. There's no way they're jumping 3 spots.
No.
All right, you just got too many other teams that are.
You shouldn't have never lost to Florida. Don't get me wrong. It's not about the 3 that you beat in the top 10. It's about the loss at Florida.
That loss at Florida killed you, man. That loss at Florida killed you, and it's not about the. And you can make all the comments you want about. Well, we played Ohio State. Well, that's great.
That's great.
But you shouldn't.
That's not what hurt you.
And we're not mad at you for losing to Ohio State. We're mad at you for losing to Florida.
Yeah.
All right. That's the reality of it.
Yeah, you brought up an interesting point about if they don't let Alabama in, these conferences are going to try to get rid of these conference championship games because it hurts the team that plays one more game, right? Well, I remember maybe it was 10 years ago when TCU arguably had one of the best teams in the nation. This is when Zeke and the Ohio State Buckeyes won the national championship. Ohio State was a long shot. Their quarterbacks were all hurt. TCU, there's a PI on a cornerback when they played Baylor, and Baylor beat TCU, but there was no Big 12 Conference Championship game back then. And TCU got leaped over by Ohio State, and they said, well, Ohio State played in the Big 10 championship game and strength of schedule, and it was a big win.
Difference.
So that's when the Big 12 came up with their conference playoff championship game because it was hurting the teams who didn't have that one big win in November. Well, now you got 12 teams that can get in as opposed to 4.
Yeah.
And watch them get rid of them if Alabama don't make it.
No, Alabama will. I think that's so
Miami's out.
Like you said, you have to you can't afford to lose those games.
It's too much money, man.
Real quick, I know it's an NFL Sunday, so a lot of you folks can be locked into football, and rightfully so. Don't forget, we've got Bengals and Bills at noon. We've got Chicago and Green Bay. Just a last slate of games. Also, we told you Dolphins, Jets. That's a whatever. Saints at Buccaneers, Colts at Jaguars, Steelers at Ravens. So a lot of divisional matchups today, right?
Steelers at Ravens.
That's AFC North on the line.
It
really
absolutely
is. And two
the quarterbacks are the key,
mid-teams,
though.
as kids say.
Aaron Rodgers can't hold a football because his left hand screwed up.
Left hand ain't right,
and so he can't
and
throw
DK
the ball.
Metcalf's not good.
And not only that, for the Ravens, how come Lamar hadn't thrown a touchdown in a month?
His knee ain't right. His knee ain't right.
So I don't know who's going to win that game.
I was going to say that's
probably the Ravens, but you don't know.
You just don't know. I certainly expect the Steelers to cover the spread. That's for sure. We already mentioned this horrible Raiders Broncos game. Shout out to our boy Jagon. Bears Packers, Rams Cardinals. I do expect the Rams to win that game. And then of course the game tonight, you've got the Texans and the Chiefs. And then Monday night you've got the Eagles and the Chargers. However, for those of you basketball heads out there, and we know who you are, especially in the college variety, we got a little border war action going on. KU and Missouri, and of course, you guys already know where I stand on this. But what's important for this game is that Darren Peterson, the presumed number one pick in the NBA draft, he's been out for a month. Guess what? My boy's coming back today. I'm gonna tell you right now. As soon as we get out of here, your boy's jetting to Louisville because I'm trying to go watch this game today. NBA personnel from the Nets, Bucks, Suns, Warriors, Hornets, Knicks, and Kings will be in attendance for this KU-Mizzou game.
Speaking of being in attendance, there are a whole bunch of Texas Tech fans at the Mavericks' big blowout win over the Houston Rockets last night. Anthony Davis with 29 points. They look like a solid team. They don't have another game till Friday when they host the Brooklyn Nets. Meanwhile, tonight, the Dallas Stars, the 19-5-5 Stars, hosts the Pittsburgh Penguins.
There you go. And of course,
at 5 o'clock.
Is that game? That game's at the AAC?
At the AAC.
You gonna be there?
I haven't decided if I'm going to go or not yet.
You got that free credential?
I do, but I just haven't decided if I want to go or not.
You just got other things to do. You got. Couple shorties you might be you trying to decide between those.
No shorties.
On?
Maybe shorthanded goals.
Oh,
maybe.
I see what you did there. I see what you did there. All right, what's a Sunday afternoon looking like, Chris? You got you got the Mavericks game. You got later. No, wait.
That was last night.
That was last night.
They have off until I'm gonna go to Jared Sandler's Sandlot.
Oh, that's right.
Going there at 4:30. That's when it starts for all the public at Globe Life Field. It's a nonprofit. Swinging for a cause. Rangers will be there. Former legends from all the different sports in North Texas will be out there.
Yeah.
They got activities for the kids. It's a family-friendly thing. Look up thesandlot.org or get your tickets, and the tickets are free, I believe, or if they're low cost or something. But that's how you do it, and he's doing it right. A whole bunch of guys from the staff will be there.
There you have it. Shout out to our boy Jared Sandler, sandlot.org.
Swinging for a cause.
Give it a shot. Check it out. Like I said, you can still, and look, we live in a world today where you can watch football on your phone.
You sure can.
Okay, and I'd imagine there's going to be a few TVs going on out there. So
it's going to be it's that kind of environment.
It absolutely
is.
It's
not
that kind of
formal like a
environment.
gala.
No, it's
more
not.
fun.
No,
than
it's
that.
not. It's definitely fun. I want to say last year they had a 3-point contest or something like that was going on. I think Peyton Russell participated in it as well.
I was the MC of that. He was shooting from the corners and
there you go.
making
who
threes.
Knew? Downtown bang. All right, so we're keeping an eye on, like I said,
no smoke from the chimney yet in Grapevine.
None. And, of course, I think a lot of people are still trying to... Oh,
wait a minute.
Hey!
They just announced.
First one.
Who do you think it could be?
You want to make a guess? I mean, I don't think it should be a huge surprise to anybody that's
the
been paying
only
attention.
undefeated team in the nation.
That's it. Indiana
gets
the number one overall seed.
Oh, number 2, Ohio State.
Wow. Okay. I did not expect that. I told you before. I thought
Georgia
would jump that just from being the SEC
Georgia's
champion.
number 3.
Georgia's got to be number 3. There's no way.
Let's see if Texas Tech gets in before we get out of here. Oh, no,
15.
we're out of here.
All right, we got 15 seconds to tell you what. Great stuff is always from Trevor the Creator. Great stuff is always from Carter Freeman for the 3-time Hall of Famer, Chris Arnold. I am Fred Davis. Enjoy your football. Enjoy your basketball. Good night. God bless.
Hellsberg Gifts checked off the list. Now, time for wrapping. Earrings for Mom. A gold bracelet to match the rings Danielle wears every day. And for Dad, a new watch, because we all know he needs one. All right, this is going to be a good one.
Our favorite things for your favorite people. Shop in store at Hellsberg.com for up to 50% off.
Dan owed an unbelievable amount of money to the IRS.
I got behind on my taxes. It's a horrible feeling.
He was in denial.
And when I got those letters from the IRS, he wanted to act like they didn't exist.
Finally, Dan turned to Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima got me a settlement with the IRS. These people are really people-friendly. It was every bit of a new lease on life for me.
The fast action and the great results made Dan's head spin.
I felt like I was in a dream, but it's real, and I have paperwork to prove it. They got the job done, and life is good.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation.
If you're worried about what's going to happen with the IRS, stop worrying. Make the call now.
Call 800-809-5833. 800-809-5833. 800-809-5833.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. K-A-R-S, Cars for Kids. 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today.
Hurry! It's your last chance to donate for 2025. Last chance! Donate now for a 2025 tax deduction.
Hey guys, it's Aphrodite to tell you about the best ice-cold beer prices in DFW, only at Buck's Cabaret. $2 domestic long necks and $3 import long necks. Get details at bucksclubs.com. And remember, everybody loves Bucks.
This is Ryan Watson, owner of Alliance Hyundai. During the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event, we have over 600 vehicles in stock, like the all-new 2025 Hyundai Santa Fe. Every new Hyundai comes with America's best warranty, 10 years, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty, and owner's assurance. Visit us at alliancehyundai.net today.
You've got a big day, so you use Unstoppable Scent Boosters to give your laundry non-stop freshness. So no matter how long the day goes, you
can't stop this power, this walk, this pose, this strut, this look, this talk.
Your clothes will be so fresh you can confidently strut into that end of the day meeting like a
boss, 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 bosses. Let's talk business in my office.
Add new Unstoppables beads to your wash for 24-hour non-stop freshness so you can smell unstoppable.
Every morning, we rise and shine, make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us start the day off right. Nature-Made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature-Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Football season is in full swing, and however you like to get in on the action, you can do it on Underdog right now in Texas. This season, you can make team picks and player picks. Just download the app, sign up, and you'll get $100 in bonus entries when you make your first $5 fantasy entry. And using Underdog is easy. Just pick whether your favorite team will win or if your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like touchdowns, receiving yards, interceptions, and more. Plus, with Underdog's ultra-fast payouts, you can get your profits in a snap. So download the app today. Use the promo code TOLO. Score $100 in bonus entries when you make your first $5 fantasy entry, player picks, team picks, all on Underdog.
Crypto.com predictions powered by Underdog Predict. Trading derivatives involves risk and may not be appropriate for all. For more information, visit nadex.com/rules and underdogfantasy.com/rules. For Crypto.com predictions, the term pick refers to a product traded on CDNA. Must be 18 plus and present in Texas. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms_DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
NFL Sunday Warm-Up is on the air, live from the Sports USA studios in Los Angeles. Here's Rob Brender.
It's week 14 of the NFL season, and this is NFL Sunday Warm-Up on Sports USA. Hello again, everybody. I am Rob Brender, getting you ready for the first game of our week 14 NFL doubleheader, which features a huge AFC showdown in Buffalo, where Josh Allen and the Bills will host Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals. That'll be followed on many of these Sports USA stations by a massive NFC North rivalry matchup at Lambeau Field, where the Packers will host the Bears. It's a pleasure to have you with us for NFL action right here on Sports USA. Our first game today features two of the most explosive offenses in the league, led by two of the top quarterbacks in the league, as Josh Allen and the Bills get set to host Joe Burrow and the Bengals. The Bills are very much in the thick of the playoff race. They are 8-4 and in second place in the AFC East. They're currently the 7th seed in the AFC playoff picture. Josh Allen gave his thoughts on where the Bills stand heading into action this afternoon.
Understanding where we're at in our division and the conference for that matter, got to continue to find ways to win football games. And, we feel like the 4 losses that we've had, a big part of that has been turnovers. And, again, just making sure that we're better in that and understanding when we can protect the ball and move the ball and not hurt ourselves, we can be a really, really good team.
Josh Allen's having another fantastic season. He has 19 touchdown passes and 11 touchdown runs. He passed Cam Newton for the most rushing touchdowns for a quarterback in NFL history during the Bills' victory over the Steelers last week. The only negative on the ledger for Allen this season has been turnovers. He's thrown 10 interceptions. That's 4 more than he had all last season when he was the league MVP. The strength of the Bills' offense has been their rushing attack, which is number 1 in the NFL, with 26-year-old James Cook leading the way. The two-time Pro Bowler is second in the league with 1,228 yards on the ground. He has 7 games with over 100 yards rushing this season. As for the Bengals, they are 4-8 and in third place in the AFC North. They broke a 4-game losing skid with an impressive 32-14 win over the Ravens on Thanksgiving. Their 28-year-old star quarterback Joe Burrow made his long-awaited return from a turf toe injury, and he picked up right where he left off. He had 261 yards passing and a pair of touchdowns in his first game since week 2. Burrow talked about the effort he made to make it back from the latest injury so that he could lead his team down the stretch drive.
The more things you go through, especially when it's, the same thing over and over again, and you continue to overcome it, and, I'm going to continue to do great things and play well. At least that's the plan. These will be in the rearview mirror at some point, but right now it's pretty fresh, and this is something I'm proud of.
The Bengals offense features arguably the top wide receiver tandem in the NFL in Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. They've combined for over 1,500 yards receiving and 12 touchdown catches this season. Putting points on the board has not been a problem for the Bengals this season, even when Joe Burrow wasn't playing. The problem has been their inability for their defense to stop their opponents from scoring. They're dead last in the league, allowing 31.2 points per game. However, their defense put forth their best performance of the season last week in a win over the Ravens, holding Baltimore to 14 points while forcing 5 turnovers. Let's get a deeper preview of Bills and Bengals from our outstanding broadcast team who will be calling the action today in Orchard Park. Bob Socci and former NFL defensive tackle Brandon Noble. Guys?
Well, thanks so much, Rob. The Bengals, coming off their win over the Ravens on Thanksgiving night, Brandon, have Joe Burrow back at quarterback. The Bills, of course, trying to get back on a roll. They've gone 4-4 in their last 8 games with Josh Allen. Of course, this is the time of the year when you look for both guys like that to kind of carry their teams, and with Chase back in the lineup for Burrow last week, big game coming off a suspension. Higgins is back for him. This should be an exciting one today in Orchard Park.
Yeah, it should. And look, the Joe Burrow thing was huge last week. When you watched the Bengals play against the Ravens on Thanksgiving, the whole team, it was a different deal. They were a different group of guys, right? The defense went out and took the ball away 5 times. They played lights out against that Ravens team. And so, can they do it 2 weeks in a row is big. Again, against a better football team in the Bills.
These two teams are really in a playoff crunch.
Oh, yeah.
The Bengals are 4-8.
Which is crazy.
And yet they're closer to the division lead in the AFC North than the Bills are to the Patriots in the AFC East with Buffalo 2.5 back. And the histories for these teams of late, they're strong finishers in December and January. The Bills 24-4 in those months in regular season games since 2020. The Bengals 14-3 in December, January games since 2022.
Well, that's all that matters. Look, in the NFL, all that matters is that you're peaking at the end of the season. You want to play your best ball at the end of the season. You want to be as healthy as possible. We talked about getting Joe Burrow back, T. Higgins back, guys like that for the Bengals, right? And then you want to keep Josh Allen upright if you're the Bills, right? And so that you can make this push.
Of course, we're talking about the quarterbacks, and
yes.
Yet the running games might be pivotal to the outcome today. Bills coming off the most yards by a visiting team in Pittsburgh since 1975. They're going against one of the worst run defenses in the league. And Cincinnati looking to exploit a weakness of Buffalo's defense.
Yeah, neither of these defenses are great at stopping the run. And, the Bills, I think, are like one of the worst, maybe 30, somewhere there down at the bottom in rush defense. So, again, does Chase Brown have a big day? Do they feed him? And then the other side of it, right, Cook, the way that he has run the ball all year, right, this is one of the top rushing offenses in the Bills. Can they attack this Bengals defense again, which just kind of showed some signs of life last week, right? They are a bottom rank, like 30, 32, 31. Like they're in the bottom in almost every category defensively.
Last week, 5 takeaways for the Bengals against the Ravens. This year, Buffalo -2 in the turnover differential versus +24 a year ago. So it's the Bengals really in a playoff scenario for them. The Bills with a game featuring playoff implications for them. Rob, should be a fun one.
Thanks, guys. Looking forward to your call. The Bengals and Bills coming up shortly. This will be the 35th all-time meeting between these two teams. The all-time series is dead even at 17 wins apiece. They last met in 2023. Coming up next on the pregame show, I'll talk to Bengals wide receiver receiver Andrei Iosivas. How good are the Bengals feeling about their chances of making a run to the playoffs? You're going to get Andrei's thoughts next. You're listening to the National Football League on Sports USA. We are back after these local messages.
Big news! D&M Leasing has acquired AutoFlex Leasing, now the largest independent auto leasing company in America. Enjoy better terms and no payments until 2026 on your new lease. Same trusted team, even greater benefits. Visit dmautoleasing.com or call 817 or 214-35-LEASE today.
We make leasing easy at D&M.
Sometimes a girl in my class doesn't bring anything to eat for lunch.
The truth is, in America, 1 in 5 kids worry about their next meal.
I want everybody to have yummy food.
So do we. That's why Kroger donates surplus fresh food from our shelves to your local food bank. We've provided over 3.5 billion meals through our Zero Hunger, Zero Waste plan. Visit Kroger.com to see how you can help fight hunger and waste in our community.
Because nobody should have an empty tummy.
Hey, Tolos, it's Zach Wolchuk, and when I'm ready for a new truck, I'm calling my guy Tony over at East Dallas Diesel.
That's right. It's Tony from East Dallas Diesel. Where buying your next truck, SUV, or car is actually easy.
And no hidden fees, right?
None. No dealer add-ons, no surprise markups. None of that nonsense you get at the big guys. Our prices are real. What you see is what you pay.
And you can be in and out in under an hour. That's my kind of dealership.
Come see why everyone's ditching the dealership games.
Hit up EastDallasDiesel.com. East Dallas Diesel, where custom comes standard.
Need to replace your windows but kept putting it off because of the cost? Good. You waited for the right moment. Window Nation's end-of-year sale is here. 50% off all windows, 0% interest financing for 5 years. Upgrade those older grade windows with custom high-quality windows for a perfect fit. The expert crews will install everything in a day or less. Over 1,500 styles to choose from. Window Nation, proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys. The sale ends soon. 50% off, no interest for 5 years. Book your fast free estimate now at windownation.com.
Welcome back to NFL Sunday Warm-Up on Sports USA from the Progressive Insurance Studios. I am Rob Brender. Progressive is helping veterans drive their lives forward with its Keys to Progress program. We are getting you ready for the Bills and Bengals from Buffalo. 26-year-old wide receiver Andrei Iosivas is in his 3rd season with the Bengals. He has 12 career touchdown catches. He's currently 3rd on the team in receiving this season. When Andrei joined me, I asked him about the momentum the Bengals are feeling coming off their dominating win over the Ravens last week.
Yeah, it's something that we can definitely build on. The vibes are really good in the locker room. We know, this is kind of how we saw ourselves doing earlier in the year, but I guess we're kind of doing it now. So I guess late's better than never. So that's kind of how we're feeling right now, just very hopeful.
No question. As we're talking, Andrei Iosivas, outstanding wide receiver, very young wide receiver, still just 26 years old for the Cincinnati Bengals, getting ready for Bengals and Bills coming up shortly right here on Sports USA. To the point that you just made, that was a complete effort against Baltimore. The defense played as well as it has all season long. Special teams was excellent, and your offense was great. And I've got to ask you, of course, about the return of Joe Burrow. You knew this was coming, I'm sure. When you get a guy like that back, and it's nothing against what Joe Flacco was able to do because he was great filling in for your offense. But when you get your leader back on the offensive end, how much of a pick-me-up was that for your team?
Yeah, it's great. It's somebody that the whole team believes in, the organization believes in. He's obviously the cornerstone of the whole franchise. So having someone like that back on the field boosts everyone's spirits for sure.
Yeah, and clearly it came through with the way you guys performed on offense. Were you a little bit surprised just how good he was that first game back, especially considering how much time he missed?
Yeah, well, he's a guy that you kind of know what you're getting into with him. He's someone that can kind of just pick it up and go. He remembers everything. He's always super locked in. He's all about ball. So we didn't expect anything less from him, but it doesn't mean it's not something special.
Yeah, he was absolutely fantastic in that first game back and going into his second game back today against the Buffalo Bills. As we're talking Andrei Iosivas, wide receiver for the Bengals. Again, 4-8 in the standings. And I know, Andrei, if I talk to people, and I do on a regular basis for this show, around the league, doesn't matter if the team is winning, doesn't matter if the team is losing. They always say it's next game. It's all about the next game. But I'm just curious, in the back of your mind, you have to know what an amazing uphill climb this is going to be just for you guys to get to the playoffs at 4-8 right now. Does it creep into your mind? How do you keep that out of your focus as you're getting ready for the next game?
Yeah, I think, everybody says next game up, and I think that's just, in preparation for the game, you have to just think about the day, think about the team you're facing. But in the big picture, everybody knows in the back of their mind what's at stake. But I think, guys are constantly thinking about that. So a way for the team to be calm, for the coach to be calm, is just to think about, the present. And I think that's why people say that all the time.
That's Bengals wide receiver Andre Yosavash. I also had a chance to talk to Bills Pro Bowl offensive lineman Connor McGovern this week, and I asked him what the key has been to the Bills having so much success running the ball this season.
The key is definitely Aaron Cromer and Joe Brady. The way they dial up each game plan every week, just finding the weaknesses and being able to run to what our strengths are in offense is incredible. The other thing is James Cook, when he's in our meetings with the offensive line, he knows how we want to set up blocks. We know how he wants to cut off us. So just all of us working in unison really helps our run game flourish.
What about being in the huddle with Josh Allen? You got to take me through what it's like when you have a leader like that, somebody who each and every play can make an explosive happen for you. What's he like as a leader? You've been with him now in the huddle for several years.
Yeah, he anytime he touches the ball, you don't know if it's going to be a 70-yard pass, if he's just going to take it himself, run it, he's going to run someone over, jump over someone. So, and especially the last 2 years, you can just really see that leadership role change on it. He's been a lot more vocal, get out in front of people. Guys make mistakes. He's not afraid to get up and correct them in front of everyone. And he's also not afraid to receive criticism. If I say, I see something different than him, he's very okay with me going up and talking to him, talking it out. Or if he wants to change a call of mine, we have a great relationship where we just go back and forth, and it's really fun to watch him.
That's Bills Pro Bowl offensive lineman Connor McGovern. Coming up next on the pregame show, I'll take you through the rest of the Week 14 action in the NFL. You're listening to the National Football League on Sports USA.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Kohl's Customer Appreciation Event is here, right in time for the gift exchange. Even though everyone pretends gifting isn't a competition, it kinda is. At Kohl's, save on gifts everyone will fight over. From sweaters and flannels to air fryers, toaster ovens, and more. Because deep down, the gift exchange isn't just about giving. It's also about winning. Shop Kohl's and save on top gifts now. Select styles, some exclusions apply. Offers end December 14th. See store or Kohls.com for details.
Your business has goals, and you need the right team to help get you there. Don't cross your fingers and just hope quality candidates see your job posting. With Indeed-sponsored jobs, you can skip the waiting game and match with the talent that actually matters for your business. Plus, with Indeed-sponsored jobs, there are no monthly subscriptions, and you only pay for results. Don't leave hiring to chance. Hire better and work better with Indeed. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
1 in 4 Americans have a disability. I'm one of them. I'm also a working mom who cares deeply about making sure every child with a disability thrives by getting their access needs met. We've got a trusted ally by our side. Easter Seals provides children and families the foundation for lifelong success through early learning programs, skills training, and prep for college and career. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours. Join us at easterseals.com.
Pick up Chevron Techron Fuel System Cleaner on sale now. Buy one, get one free, plus receive 2 times O Rewards points at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Welcome back to NFL Sunday Warm-Up on Sports USA from the Progressive Insurance Studios. I am Rob Brender. Protect the stuff you love with Renters Insurance. Visit Progressive.com. Got a question about today's game that you want answered by our pro Brandon Noble? Hit us up on X at Sports USA Live, and maybe we'll answer your question later in today's broadcast. Ask the Pros is brought to you by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all of your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts. We are getting ready for the Bills and Bengals from snowy Buffalo. Time to take you through the rest of the Week 14 action on the gridiron. Week 14 got underway on Thursday with a huge NFC matchup in Detroit between the Lions and Cowboys. Jahmyr Gibbs had a huge game for the Lions.
Lions 1st and 10 from the Cowboy 13. Goff up under center, single back Gibbs. They give it to Jahmyr. Running outside. Got a blocker. Down to the 10, to the 5, to the end zone. Wave to him. He's gone, baby. Touchdown, Detroit Lions.
That's Lions Radio on the call. That was the third touchdown run of the night for Jahmyr Gibbs. The Lions won the game 44-30. They're 8-5. Dallas fell to 6-1. Coming up shortly, first place in the AFC South will be on the line when the Jaguars and Colts meet in Jacksonville. Both teams are 8-4. The Colts have lost 2 straight. The Jaguars have won 3 in a row. Jaguars quarterback Trevor Lawrence talked about the position his team is in heading into today's huge game.
We've taken it week by week, and hasn't always gone perfect, but we've just kept playing and found a way to respond every week. Like we talked about all season, we've had some big wins, we've had some tough losses, and you just keep playing. And this week, obviously, it's a big one at home. Need our fans to pack the place out and be loud for us and get a home field advantage, but playing a really good Colts team, and it's an exciting one. Obviously, a lot on the line, and that's how every game is going to be moving forward, though, and that's where we want to be. That's the position you want to be in, so it feels good.
First place in the AFC North will also be on the line in Baltimore today. The Ravens are going to host the Steelers. Both teams are 6-6. The Steelers have lost 5 of their last 7. The Seahawks will visit the Falcons. Atlanta is 4-8 in third place in the NFC South. They've lost 6 of their last 7. The Seahawks are 9-3 and in second place in the NFC West. The Buccaneers will host the Saints. Tampa Bay won their first meeting earlier this season. The Saints are 2-10 overall. The Buccaneers 7-5 and in first place in the NFC South. They broke a 3-game losing skid with the win over the Cardinals last week. The Browns will host the Titans. Cleveland is 3-9. Shedeur Sanders going to get his 3rd straight start at quarterback for Cleveland. Myles Garrett leads the league 19 sacks this season. The Titans are just 1-11. They've lost 7 straight. The Vikings will host the Commanders. Washington at 3-9. They've lost 7 in a row. Jaden Daniels will be back at quarterback for Washington today after missing several games with an elbow injury. The Jets will host the Dolphins in an AFC East clash at 4:05 Eastern. The Broncos and Raiders will meet in Las Vegas. The Raiders are 2-10. They've lost 6 in a row. The Broncos 10-2 and in first place in the AFC West. They've won 9 straight. At 4:25 Eastern, there'll be a big matchup in Glendale where the Rams will take on the Cardinals. The Cardinals at 3-9. They've lost 4 in a row. The Rams are 9-3 and in first place in the division. Tonight at 8:20 Eastern, the Chiefs will host the Texans, and on Monday night, the Chargers and Eagles will meet in L.A. Coming up next on the pregame show, I'll preview the second game of our Week 14 NFL doubleheader between the Bears and Packers. You're listening to the National Football League on Sports USA.
My ride smells just right, just right, just right, just right. Y'all gotta try that Febreze car. Just right, just right, just right. La 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 la. With up to 40 days of consistency. On low Febreze car clips right on your vent. You know my car's my happy place. Keep that smile on my face. When it smells just right, just right, just right. Yeah, breathe happy Febreze. La 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 la.
Pros don't just show up. They prove how it's done with precision and without shortcuts. Makita tools are built the same way with a dedication to lasting quality, trusted performance, and results that reward your effort year after year. When the job calls for the best, call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
While retinitis pigmentosa takes Mark's vision, his family gives him hope, whether at the family business or at home with his wife and sons. He knows he's not fighting alone. For 50 years, the Foundation Fighting Blindness has funded research into treatments and cures for blinding retinal diseases, providing hope to people with vision loss. And for Mark, winning the fight means being there for his family. The Foundation Fighting Blindness. Together, we're winning. Help us end blinding diseases at fightingblindness.org.
Hi, this is Sarah at the Department of Rejected Dreams. If you had a dream rejected, IKEA can make it possible.
I've always dreamed of a beautiful kitchen, but my wife just wants to stay organized.
You know what they say about opposites?
That they can't agree on a kitchen?
Well, IKEA kitchens come in many styles with a variety of customizable organizers. So maybe you're not opposites at all.
Beautiful and organized. Now we just have to figure out what to eat.
That's a different department. Get the kitchen of your dreams at a price you didn't dream possible at IKEA.US/dreamkitchen. Dream the possibilities.
Welcome back to NFL Sunday Warm-Up on Sports USA from the Progressive Insurance Studios. I am Rob Brender. We offer auto, home, and commercial auto insurance, plus a variety of business insurance options. Visit Progressive.com today. Draw up a winning play with Grainger, offering supplies and solutions for every industry. Grainger will help your business cross the goal line. Call clickgrainger.com or just stop by. We are getting you ready for the Bills and Bengals from Buffalo. The second game of our Sports USA Week 14 NFL doubleheader will come to you from Lambeau Field, where first place in the NFC North will be on the line when the Packers host the Bears. This will be the 211th all-time meeting between these longtime division rivals. The Bears are red hot. They've won 9 of their last 10. They're 9-3 overall, and right now the number 1 seed in the NFC playoff picture. They've already guaranteed a winning season for the first time since 2018. The Packers, meanwhile, are 8-3-1 and right on the Bears' heels in the NFC North. They've won 3 in a row, including an impressive 31-24 victory over the Lions in Detroit on Thanksgiving. It's the Bears and Packers later today on many of these Sports USA stations. That'll wrap up our pregame show from the Progressive Insurance Studios. Progressive, with insurance for cars, home, boat, motorcycles, RVs, and commercial vehicles at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE and Progressive.com. Coming up right after this, we'll join Bob Socci and Brandon Noble in Buffalo. They're getting ready to call the action between the Bills and Bengals. I am Rob Brender. Enjoy the game, everybody. You're listening to the National Football League on Sports USA. We are back after these local messages.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-830-4914. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-830-4914. That's 800-830-4914. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with, call Big Lou at 800-830-4914 or biglou.com. That's 800-830-4914 or biglou.com.
When equipment breaks down and operations come to a halt, every single second counts. So why is your maintenance team spending 60% of their time doing anything but turning wrenches? Maintain X is the AI-powered maintenance and asset management system that helps your team get back to actually fixing breakdowns. No more searching for manuals. No more hunting down parts. No more drowning in paperwork. With Maintain X, your team can access manuals from anywhere, create new procedures in minutes, and turn voice notes into clear and complete work order feedback. What used to take hours now only takes minutes. Keep your operations moving, not your paperwork. Join over 11,000 maintenance teams that are already fixing more and filing less. Try Maintain X for free today. Go to maintainx.com/AI. That's maintain and the letter x.com/AI.
The National Football League is on Sports USA. Today, the Buffalo Bills host the Cincinnati Bengals.
Throwing right sideline into traffic, and it is caught! Unbelievable in double coverage. Jamar Chase, touchdown Cincinnati.
Today's game is brought to you by Indeed.com, Granger, and O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Allen under center, turns around and hands to James Cook. Bounces it left towards the pylon, gets around the corner for a touchdown.
Now, live from Highmark Stadium in Orchard Park, New York, here are Bob Socci and Brandon Noble.
And hello again, everyone. A very pleasant good afternoon, and welcome to Highmark Stadium in Orchard Park, New York, for this Week 14 encounter of the 4-8 Cincinnati Bengals and the 8-4 Buffalo Bills. Bob Socci, pleased to be joined by Brandon Noble. It is great to have you with us. And Brandon, it's snowing here in Buffalo. It's December, and there are January implications with this matchup looming between the Patriots and the Bengals. Joe Burrow came back for Cincinnati, a team that won its first 2 before Burrow injured his toe, suffered a grade 3 turf toe injury. Missed 9 games, came back sooner than expected, and gave the Bengals a huge lift on Thanksgiving night against the Baltimore Ravens. 5 takeaways by Cincinnati's defense, theretofore struggling this season. Burrow played well with 2 touchdown passes, no interceptions, and the Bengals roll to a win over Baltimore. And now Cincinnati, even with a 4-8 record, is sitting in a position in the AFC North with Baltimore and Pittsburgh tied atop the division with a 500 record each, where the Bengals can win out and realistically play their way into the playoffs. And they got some help from the Bills as well, with Buffalo beating Pittsburgh last weekend. And while Josh Allen, of course, is the star force of nature here in Buffalo, he had 5 touchdowns total against the Houston Texans the previous week. Well, last week they leaned on their running game, and James Cook especially. The Bills rushed for 249 yards at Acrisure Stadium, the most by a visitor in Pittsburgh since 1975. And for the Bengals, Brandon, this is a day very reminiscent of their last visit to Highmark Stadium. They came in here in the 2022 divisional playoff, knocked off the Bills. They're thinking about postseason. The Bills have the Patriots next week, trailing New England in the AFC East. And again, January implications riding with this early December matchup.
Yeah, and it feels a little bit like January football right now with all the snow. And this is a huge game for both of these teams, like you said, Bob. You know, they're both basically still in the playoff hunt. It's very important for both of these teams to get the win. This is right where you want to be in early December.
You can think about strengths and weaknesses. We'll break down some of the keys to this game coming up as the Bengals play here at Orchard Park. You're listening to the National Football League on Sports USA.
When I wake up, the best mornings in the morning light start with Wrangler. I put on my jeans and I feel alright. Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started. Good mornings make for better days. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
Kohl's Customer Appreciation Event is here, right in time for the gift exchange. Even though everyone pretends gifting isn't a competition, it kinda is. At Kohl's, save on gifts everyone will fight over. From sweaters and flannels to air fryers, toaster ovens, and more. Because deep down, the gift exchange isn't just about giving. It's also about winning. Shop Kohl's and save on top gifts now. Select styles, some exclusions apply. Offers end December 14th. See store or Kohls.com for details.
A new exclusive offer with an eligible Bank of America Visa credit card is your opportunity to go from card holder to ticket holder for the FIFA World Cup 2026. For a limited time, when you're approved for a new customized cash rewards or unlimited cash rewards Visa credit card, you're eligible for a chance to purchase FIFA World Cup 2026 tickets. Learn more today at bfa.com/cardfwc26. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, proud to be the official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America NA in partnership with Visa. Terms apply. All rights reserved.
At Engel & Volkers, we know that your real estate choices are about more than square footage. They're about creating the lifestyle you've always dreamed of. That's why Engel & Volkers affiliated advisors combine local mastery and global reach with a personal level of care, making every decision intentional while putting you at the center of it all. Engel & Volkers, standards raised. Visit evrealestate.com for more. Real estate services are provided by independently owned and operated franchise brokerages.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the NFL on Sports USA.
This is the exclusive home of Dallas Cowboys football. KRLD-FM and HD1, Dallas-Fort Worth. Let's go, Cowboys.
An Odyssey sports station.
And hello again, everybody. Welcome back to Highmark Stadium. Bob Sosi with Brandon Noble. Bills and the Bengals getting set for the opening kickoff of this matchup with Cincy at 4-8 and Buffalo at 8-4. Brandon, your keys to this afternoon's game.
Well, I think the big one for the Bengals is to try and be a little